our first day of shooting, we picked the most difficult set ever. Smoke, mirrors in every direction. Love it. Welcome to Twilight.
You're listening to Another Bite of Twilight, a podcast where we look back on our obsession with the Twilight Saga and continue to freak out 10 years later. Welcome to the show!
Welcome. My name is Mel.
My name is Kel.
And we're two cousins, and this is a Twilight podcast.
It's not just a Twilight podcast. Well, yeah, it is. But
yeah, what else is it?
It's, it's
two friends, two cousins talking. Sometimes we digress a bit. It's a therapy session about Twilight.
With Twilight. Our lens is Twilight.
Yeah.
But it can relate to so much more.
Yep, we are using Twilight to see the world. And we have our window open right now, so if you guys can hear crickets and stuff, I hope that's adding to the ambiance of this next hour or so. Probably longer.
There could be some random sounds out there too, so just a warning.
Just a warning, we're super low budget, just like the first movie, but as we say, the best thing that you'll ever experience.
Yeah.
It'll change your life.
Low budget makes things cool.
I think
Why
so.
do you think people like indie movies?
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're low budget.
Exactly.
Okay, no, not just because they're low budget.
We don't have any producer who's telling us what to say, who's controlling our thoughts, who's thinking about the marketing of it, the angle that we want to take. Everything is just really raw in the moment. And sometimes that is not so great because I'll listen to a episode from the past and I'm like, wait, what? I don't even agree with what I said here.
Like what?
Mostly the soundtracks. Like some of the songs I'm like, that is not my opinion that I
Oh,
hold.
Mel.
But
opinions can always change.
Yeah.
No, actually, so, we've been talking about Midnight Sun. I'm doing something a little different this time. We're still going to be just, observing amusing things that we found. But I also made some sticky notes in Midnight Sun and then in Twilight comparing scenes to it and just how they're different. So,
that's really
we didn't do
cool.
that last time. Where did I put Twilight though? Oh, it's right here. Okay.
That's cool. You came prepared.
Yeah, I tried. I mean, it wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
Well, it was a little bit tricky. So we're starting on chapter 10 today. Oh, shoot. I have my French phone by accident. Wait, I'll be right back.
That's what happens when you have multiple copies of one book in different languages.
Salut to all our French listeners. I don't know how many there are. Maybe like 3. I don't know. But, okay. Since last time we spoke, some things have happened.
Yes. There's
First,
some Twilight news, I guess.
First of all, Robert Pattinson, our man, has tested positive for COVID-19?
Yep.
Coronavirus?
2 days into filming the Batman, or production starting again after they shut down for COVID for months and months. Poor Rob tested positive.
Crazy.
And somehow we all know about it. I don't understand how that leaked. I don't get how HIPAA's not a thing. But I'm sure if the star tests positive, it's kind of hard to keep that secret. Hope he's okay.
I know, I hope he's okay too. Not really, really sick.
Yeah.
I still can't believe he's Batman. It kind of just hit me the other day.
I know.
I feel like I hadn't absorbed that information.
Something weird about Robert Pattinson is I forget that other people know who he is. But, not...
Okay,
like,
I don't think I've ever thought that.
It's just, because he's really been kind of my only significant celebrity crush. And I forget that, other people also love him and adore him. Sometimes I'm not really obsessed. I don't follow him as much as I used to.
Yeah.
But something about my crush on him feels personal, and so when I see just anybody loving on him, I'm like, wait, wow, he's a celebrity. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, I know.
It's not personal.
I just forget he's as famous as he is. Sometimes I think some people still haven't heard of him.
No, everybody knows who he is.
I know.
Yeah. Apparently, there's some new Twilight thing. I didn't even know that they still... I don't know, I guess they're always coming out with something new, but there's a new Twilight Steelbook, it's called, which is the DVDs, but it's like in a steel case.
Yeah.
So...
And it's really pretty.
It's kind of cool. I already own them, but they are actually, I can see right now, our DVDs are over there, all ripped up because they're made out of paper, you know, the case.
Oh, that's true.
So-
I didn't realize that's a benefit of it.
Yeah. So it would stay really nice and sleek and not get all ruined.
Yeah. I also feel like that would be the ultimate show, just how, like, putting it on such a pedestal that
Yeah.
you have it literally in steel.
Yeah. I know, in
Like, you could
steel.
display that.
Wait, you have all the DVDs, right? Because I know
Yes.
you talked about... Oh, wait, did you get the collector's one?
Yeah, I just got the pack, which is, it looks like a book too. But I also own all the DVDs, but I've watched them so many times that they skip.
Yeah. I was just gonna say like, oh, that would be a good gift, but we already have them, so.
Yeah. But a good gift is, or like a gift for someone who's newly getting into it, because
Yeah,
I feel like
maybe.
there's so many people in Gen Z who are just discovering it for the first
True.
time, or millennials or older people who...
Yeah, no. Not just Gen Z.
Yeah. But the Gen Z TikTok is
Hi,
so
kids.
funny.
Yeah, so that's Twilight news. Okay, I have one more thing before we get into Midnight
Yeah.
Sun. I thought this was wicked funny, and one of our listeners sent it to us too, that Slate.com had this article that said the title is All 349 Murmurs in the Twilight Saga
Oh my God.
charted and ranked.
Wait, how many?
349
Oh my god,
murmurs.
that is crazy.
Isn't that crazy? I knew there were a lot of murmurs in this. And actually,
Yeah.
speaking of the French copy, I really picked up on it when I was reading the French version because, you know, I was learning new words and I was
Yeah.
like, wow, those words in here a lot. They murmur a ton. But apparently, okay, the one with the most murmurs is Breaking Dawn with
Wow.
111.
That's so much.
I know. Isn't that kind of
That
insane? That's
is
too many.
So much.
There should be, I don't know, what do you think's an appropriate number?
I don't know. I almost want to do the math
15
to figure
maybe?
out the like page.
10?
I want to do like the word count to like
Yeah, what's the ratio?
yeah.
Midnight Sun apparently
Yeah,
has
10.
67 murmurs.
That
I know.
is crazy.
New Moon has the least with 30. And I think that's because Edward does the most murmuring, apparently. Edward has had 173 murmurs throughout the series. Bella, 57. Hallucination Edward had 1.
Oh my god.
Alice had 18. Jacob had 11.
What? Jacob shouldn't have it.
I know, why did Jacob murmur? Rosalie murmured 8 times.
Wow.
Okay, this part's wicked funny.
Wait.
This is quality journalism in my opinion.
The
Like,
fact someone went
I
through
know.
and counted
This
and
is-
also kept track of who murmured.
it's so good. Okay, get this. Sorry, that's my cat. Things being murmured into. 64% were being murmured into Bella's ear.
Okay, yeah. That checks out.
27% of murmurs were being murmured into Bella's hair.
Oh my god, what?
9%. This is so funny. 9% were murmured into the darkness.
What? Oh my god, that's too much.
I know.
That is too much. That's so funny. Is there any other?
Wait, now here they have worst murmurs, best murmurs.
Oh, that's
Should I read them?
Yeah.
Alice. Other voices murmured around me. The commentary is, you cannot murmur an exclamation point. It goes against the very spirit of the murmur.
Oh, that is so true.
Okay. Next one. Deeply under. She did not so as much. Okay. Deeply under. She did not so as much murmur in Midnight Sun. No longer content to tell us when characters are murmuring. Meyer is now talking about murmurs even when there's no one murmuring.
Wait, I don't understand.
She did
it.
not so as much murmur. saying, okay, this is when Bella was talking in her sleep, but now she's in a deep sleep, so she's not even murmuring. She's not talking at all. She's not even murmuring. He's saying.
That's so weird. I feel like sometimes authors are not really aware of the words that they just use all the time.
Yeah.
But it's weird an editor wouldn't notice that.
Where indeed, I murmured around another bite of pizza. Twilight.
Oh my God.
Murmuring with one's mouthful is rude. I told you so, the perfect voice murmured crystal clear. Even when Bella is hallucinating, Edward won't stop murmuring. I murmured vaguely and turned back to the sink. Eclipse. Characters murmur some variation of no fewer than 10 times over the course of the series. A waste of murmurs.
Yeah.
These are the best murmurs, actually. Ready? Go to sleep, Jacob, Edward murmured. You're starting to get on my nerves. Murmuring to your romantic rival instead of just saying is a total power move.
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
agree.
Bella, he murmured, his voice warm and velvet. Would you please stop trying to take your clothes off? Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
The person said, this is undoubtedly the best line. Death that hath sucked the honey of thy breath hath no power yet upon thy beauty, he murmured, and I recognized the line spoken by Romeo in the tomb. A heavy-handed allusion to star-crossed lovers and a murmur, iconic. And so, okay, this person seems like a fan, actually. And so the lion fell in love with the lamb, he murmured. I looked away, hiding my eyes as I thrilled to the word. The murmur is so melodramatic that it almost took first place. However, that honor belongs to... It's Twilight, Edward murmured. And they said, self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is so much.
Rochelle Hampton, good job with this article. If you're listening.
That was one of the first things I learned in college writing classes was just to cut back on descriptive dialogue tags as much as possible. Just say said.
Cut back, but you don't need to get rid of all of
It
them.
completely. Yeah. I feel like one of my teachers said that the dialogue should stand on its own, that the dialogue should be so good that you don't even have to wonder how it was said, but sometimes, dialogue isn't like that, so.
Yeah. Tricky. Writing is tricky.
It is. That's so funny, though. I love the data to support it.
I know. Murmured into the darkness.
I would like to see if there's another word that's repeated a lot. I noticed in this book, appraised is used more than I expected. I don't think it's...
I still haven't
that
even noticed
extent.
that. Oh, guys, I finished the book finally. So did Mel.
Me
So did
too,
Mel.
yeah. So.
I didn't notice that, but I noted in here somewhere, we'll get to it, there was like 3 pages where the word anxious was used several times, and I thought it was just way too close together,
Yeah.
and she should have changed that. I was like, I just saw that word many times.
It was funny to me how much the word Coke was in the restaurants.
Coke.
But it makes sense, I guess.
Bella got coked out.
Yeah.
Coked out at the restaurant. She has a coke problem. Wait, did we even get to that part yet in the book?
Yeah, we did get to that part, but we haven't got to
yeah.
her revealing what her favorite soda is yet.
Oh, yes. Very important.
Yes. Some good details we learned. I think we'll get to it in this chunk, hopefully.
Yeah, I think so. So, okay, chapter 10 is called Theory. And this is actually my first comparison, the first page. But did you have anything?
No.
Okay.
Take it away.
I'm just going to read it back to back, maybe. So, can I ask just one more? She entreated instead of answering my demand. So this is Midnight Sun. And then Twilight, can I ask just one more? I pleaded as Edward accelerated much too quickly down the quiet street. He didn't seem to be paying attention to the road. He sighed. Okay, back to Edward. I was on edge, anxious for the worst, and yet how tempting it was to prolong this moment, to have her with me willingly for just a few seconds longer. I sighed at the dilemma and then said, 1. In Bella's perspective, he says, 1. He agreed, his lips pressed together into a cautious line. In his perspective, I glared out the windshield. Here was another question that revealed nothing on her part and too much on mine. I thought we were past all the evasiveness, she said, her tone critical and disappointed. In her point of view, I thought we were past all the evasiveness, I grumbled. He almost smiled. In his point of view, How ironic. She was relentlessly evasive without even trying. Okay, I'll end it there.
It's cool to see it in the different perspectives, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's really small. This isn't like a crazy part or anything, but it's just interesting, like, in her perspective, she notes that he smiled, and it's just his thought, like, how ironic.
Yeah.
But he doesn't say, like, I smiled a little bit
Yeah.
or anything, you know. It's interesting.
Which goes to show why you see Bella in such a different light in here. Do you ever, I'm wondering, because a lot of this dialogue is familiar to us because we've read Twilight several times.
Yeah.
Did you ever, like, read a sentence that was dialogue that you remembered so well from Twilight, and then you go into the next paragraph and your mind expects it to be Bella? Because that happened for me a lot, like Bella's narration.
Actually, no.
Yeah, it happened to me, like, maybe, like, 5 times or so, where I was like, oh, wait,
Interesting.
Edward's the narrator.
Yeah, it was really weird whenever I did recognize lines from Twilight. Like, whoa,
Yeah.
I've read this.
Yeah.
And then, I know you said this, but sometimes when you're like, oh my gosh, and like, oh wait, I've read this before.
Yeah.
I can't believe this.
I can't believe you said that.
Yeah. Like, oh, it's in Twilight.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. In this, her guessing, like, what he is was freaking me out. I was like, oh gosh, he's revealing it. He's a vampire. This is crazy. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wait, this happened in Twilight.
Yeah. It is
Yeah.
weird too, because there's some dialogue and scenes that are not in Twilight. I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing really too much that's not in Twilight. Like, for the scenes where Edward and Bella are together, I was hoping maybe we'd get more little moments
Yeah, I know.
that it's just like a complete random day that Bella just didn't care to tell us about.
I know. It's weird that didn't happen.
Yeah, like something that meant a lot to Edward but didn't mean a lot to Bella.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't really get that too much. But there are some moments that are different. And I'm reading it like, wait, did we see this in Twilight? Did we know this? Like,
Yeah.
I start to feel like a fake fan for being so excited about it.
It's a big book.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing is this chapter 10 theory. In Twilight, it's chapter 9 theory.
Oh,
That threw me off.
yeah.
I thought it was the same, but no. So I guess this has one other chapter. Oh, probably the chapter when he goes to Alaska.
Yeah, probably.
That doesn't, like, match up. Cool. I didn't expect, did you? I didn't expect Twilight to, I mean, new...
Midnight Sun.
I didn't expect... Sorry, guys. I, like, did not sleep last night. But I'm actually feeling fine.
Yeah.
I didn't expect Midnight Sun to line up with Twilight so much.
I didn't either.
Like, I didn't need it. It's fine. It's cool. But I didn't necessarily need the chapters to line up,
Yeah.
you know?
No, I didn't either.
I was
Or
kind of
have the same
surprised.
exact titles for some of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, they're both theory.
That's not a criticism or
No, it's just...
anything, though.
Shocked me a little bit. Shocked me like an electric eel. When's your first note?
Mine was for dialogue, where Edward just says, I hate driving slow, I muttered. Oh, so he muttered here. But I don't know why this is important to me, but I said, I love little things like this.
Because it's just revealing his character and him
Yeah.
he's being a little brat.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute. On that same page, I thought it was interesting. He said, I should have looked through her collections when she was out of the house. I had no idea if Bram Stoker or Anne Rice was there in her stack of worn paperbacks. Which I thought was just cool, calling out, you know, other fictional vampires is interesting to me. Yeah. Yep. Anne Rice. Okay, she wrote Interview with a Vampire, which I really want to watch with Mel. I've never read it, but I really like the movie. But, sorry, this is a tangent, but Anne Rice, like, trashed on Stephanie Meyer years ago.
Oh, really?
So it's interesting Stephanie put her in the book.
Yeah, that is interesting. She's being the bigger person.
Pretty mature. Yeah, I thought Anne Rice, if you don't know the story, she was just being like, oh, her vampires are lame. They go to high school. I'm like, why do you need to talk about that?
I think
Why do you
that's
need to
really-
comment?
I think as a writer, that's really distasteful to publicly put down other writers. Like,
I know.
Stephanie is really not doing anything against you at all.
I know. And she said that Stephanie was not creative for setting her vampires in high school. I think it actually is
I think
creative.
I think it's so unique.
People hadn't really done that before.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's Vampire Diaries, but
It also worked. I mean,
Yeah.
I just think it's really cheap and bitter to criticize something about why it's not working when it is working.
yeah, and I feel like Anne Rice was implying that, yeah, it worked, but that's because the masses are stupid.
Yeah.
And they all fell for this uncreative idea. Which, okay, I really like Interview with the Vampire, so I'm not criticizing Anne Rice, but she was just being a brat back
Yeah.
in 2012 or like 2008. I forget when
Yeah.
it was. Yeah.
I also think that's a dumb move to make, because if people are into one vampire story, I think it's likely they'd be into another one. So you're alienating that audience
Yeah.
by demeaning them. Like, you don't want to do that.
She was just being bitter. I mean,
Yeah.
her series had its time. It it had a movie. People read her books.
Yeah.
But now it wasn't really in the limelight anymore. So she trashed Stephanie Meyer.
Immature.
I don't know why I underlined on page 202, it doesn't matter to me what you are. Why did I underline that? Like, oh my god, yes. That's in Twilight. Oh, and I underlined what it says, she gasped. I'm right? I do think in a lot of this, I thought Bella was just so much cuter, and I pictured her really well, and I enjoyed it from Edward's perspective.
Yeah. She seems a lot happier from the outside.
Yeah, she does. She seems much more normal, but like interesting. I don't know, in her perspective, Bella seemed a little boring to me. Like, she didn't do anything with her life.
Yeah.
But for some reason, from an outside perspective, it seemed like enough to me. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, yeah, she goes home, she reads.
Yeah.
It seems fine to me, but for some reason, in her point of view, I always had the vibe that her life was really dull.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Probably because that's Bella's nature to feel that way about her own life, that it's not exciting.
You're right. You're right, Mel.
On page 202, so Edward and Bella are talking about what he is, basically. It's
Yeah.
basically coming to light. And Bella's not scared. And Edward is questioning her sanity here. He says, I suppose that I could arrange for her to receive the best care available. Carlisle would have the connections to find the most skilled doctors, the most talented therapists. Perhaps something could be done to fix whatever it was that was wrong with her. Whatever it was that made her content to sit beside a vampire with her heart beating calmly and steadily. I would watch over the facility, naturally, and visit as often as she allowed. And I just thought it's
cute.
so funny and cute, and also not self-aware at all right now that Edward is questioning her sanity when he's saying, I would watch over the facility naturally.
I
of
know.
course. Like, he's basically obsessed with her, and he's questioning what's wrong with her.
I would keep stalking, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
He has the savior complex. He takes it too far.
He does take it way too far. Sometimes he steps out of it and he's
We'll
like,
take this way too far. Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
It has nothing to do with this, but, you know. Is Taylor Swift a Twilight fan?
Well, she dated Taylor.
Quote.
Quotes.
Air quotes. We talked about that in our Taylor Lautner episode.
Yeah.
Check the link in the description. No, I'm just kidding. There's no link in the description.
She dated or may not have dated Taylor Lautner.
That was a random episode of ours.
Yeah.
We've still never done our Kristen one.
We still haven't, but we will. So don't at us.
We're sexist.
Yeah.
Well, no, we did the Howard Stern one.
We did the Howard Stern. We did a Rob Stern
That's
one.
kind of crazy. We did a whole episode about Howard Stern. That's weird.
Yeah, no, but I think that was necessary. That almost warranted an emergency episode.
Yeah, we were freaking out.
That was really
That was so
urgent.
exciting. I remember that day so well.
Me
I was at
too.
the library listening to it while I was, air quotes, working. Hi, work. I doubt you're listening.
I hope mine is not listening.
No, I was working, but I was listening while I was working.
Yeah.
I was probably doing Facebook ads.
Yeah, probably. I remember that day perfectly because sometimes I just randomly will Google Kristen Stewart or Robert Pattinson just if I'm
Yeah.
really bored. And that actually was the case And the interview, it wasn't like it was something that I had posted earlier that day, and I was just seeing it. It had posted 5 minutes before, so...
Serendipity.
It was.
I was going to say serenity.
The angels were telling me something's going to make you really excited right now.
I do get those daily Google alerts for Rob, Kristen, and Twilight. But honestly, sometimes I don't open it.
Yeah, well, it seems like they probably would be too much.
They can get repetitive. It's like the same news over and over and
they
over.
Just recycle the same
Yeah.
story. Rob test positive for
Yeah,
COVID-19.
like that will be for 2 weeks probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like, can Rob do it? Can he play Batman?
Yeah.
We don't know.
My next note is not until page 210. What about you?
206, baby.
All right, you go first.
Okay. Well, I just underlined, I just thought this was funny. Okay. Stephanie uses the word mythology, which we know is her favorite word, so I underlined it.
Other than murmur.
She didn't seem to realize that this question was one that related to mythology again. Oh, because Bella asks, why weren't any of you in school? Because of the sun. Mythology, the mythology. And then on page 207, I just loved... Edward said, did I love her enough yet to be able to bear leaving her? I don't love the idea of leaving her, but I like that he's talking about loving her. And it's sad, and it's crazy to me that he is already thinking this.
I know.
So early on.
It's this anxiety that's looming the whole book.
Yeah.
And I feel like even though we are not really in this situation, it's something that I, for some reason, relate to, of like really loving someone and caring about someone, but having this reality in the back of your head of like, but this can't last. If that makes sense. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It feels like a feeling that...
I haven't really been in that situation like, this can't last. But I can picture.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have. But we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in a relationship where I thought maybe it should end and thinking about it, but not like for their own good or not like because it was the noble thing to do or something.
Oh, no, I haven't.
And it wasn't like tragic.
No, yeah.
It was more, it wasn't, yeah.
I haven't connected on that level, just, but more, and mine is like almost like for my own good, like I need to end this, but when you really care about someone and you're so happy in their presence, it's really hard to then sometimes have that reality sink in of like, this is not how it's supposed to be.
Very mysterious, Mel.
Very
Very cryptic.
explanation.
Yeah.
God, I hope my mom's not listening. Also, if Kelly's mom is listening, don't share that.
She definitely is. Anyway, then Bella says, you might have called me, she said. What an odd conclusion, but I knew you were safe. But I didn't know where you were. This isn't Twilight, but I thought it was just so cute that he doesn't realize that she wanted to talk to him, too. But then he's mad at himself, and he says, are you happy now? I demanded of myself. Well, here was my reward for hoping. I was bewildered, elated, horrified, mostly horrified, to realize that all my wildest fantasies were not so far off the mark. It's cute, but he's so tortured. He can't even, like, enjoy that she likes him. And he knows that it would cause, he says, cause her pain if I did the right thing and left her. He's in a real predicament. It sucks, though, that this is already going on in Twilight. I thought it was just New Moon.
I know, and it just keeps getting worse as the book goes on. He's really on the fence the whole time about this relationship. That's why I would love to see Eclipse, because I would like to see when he's decided that he's just going to stay. But I do wonder, almost in Eclipse, does he ever go back on that too? In his own thoughts, at least?
I don't know. Hope not.
I know.
But
so Breaking Dawn. After they get married, I gotta get out of this.
It's not right. Yeah, oh my gosh. Probably.
I gotta leave her.
I wouldn't be surprised.
While she's walking down the aisle.
I know. Okay, I'm comparing the next page.
Okay.
208, which is 190 in Twilight. And, okay, so Bella says, in Midnight Sun, she says, "So am I," she insisted. "I told you, it doesn't matter what you are. It's too late." Too late? The word was bleakly black and white for one endless second as I watched the shadows crawl across the sunny lawn towards Bella's sleeping form in my memory. Inevitable, unstoppable, they stole the color from her skin and plunged her into darkness, into the underworld. Too late? Alice's vision swirled in my head, Bella's blood-red eyes staring back at me impassively, expressionless, but there was no way that she could not hate me for the future, hate me for stealing everything from her. It could never be too late. "Never say that," I hissed. She stared out her window and her teeth bit into her lip again. Her hands were balled into tight fists in her lap, her breathing hitched. "What are you thinking?" I had to know. She shook her head without looking at me. I saw something glisten like a crystal on her cheek. Agony. "Are you crying?" I had made her cry. I'd hurt her that much. She scrubbed the tear away with the back of her hand. Okay, now I'm going to read it in Bella's point of view. "So am I. I told you, it doesn't matter what you are. It's too late." His voice whipped out, low and harsh. "Never say that." I bit my lip and was glad he couldn't know how much that hurt. I stared out at the road. We must be close now. He was driving much too fast. "What are you thinking?" he asked, his voice still raw. I just shook my head, not sure if I could speak. I could feel his gaze on my face, but I kept my eyes forward. "Are you crying?" He sounded appalled. I hadn't realized the moisture in my eyes had brimmed over. I quickly rubbed my hand against my cheek, and sure enough, traitor tears were there, betraying me. "No," I said, but my voice cracked. I just thought this was interesting. I don't know. You see Edward's, all his thoughts about picturing her as a vampire and how horrible that would be and stealing life from her. But in that, obviously, we don't get his thoughts, so it just seems very, like, mean in a way. Like, never say that. And, like, I don't know. It's much quicker in Twilight.
Yeah. What prompted you to pick passages that you were to compare? Did you just pick this passage from Midnight Sun and say I want to see it in Twilight, or were you just reading Twilight?
I picked this one because he says something. No, he has a lot of thoughts, and then he says something, which I felt gave like a lot of context to why he said it, but I knew that it wasn't going to be in Twilight. I mean, we can infer why he would say never say that, but it just seemed much more powerful with all his thoughts and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of that in Midnight Sun. Just context to the like whiplash of emotions. Oop, sorry. The door just closed on its own.
Yeah, that's why. And her crying. I don't know, I kind of forgot about that. So
I feel like my comments for this chapter are not super insightful. On 210, I just thought it was cute how Edward wants to give her his jacket and how she says no, but like Charlie will wonder.
Oh yeah.
He says you can keep it. I assured her quickly. I rather wanted to leave her with something of myself.
Oh,
a
yeah.
token, like the bottle cap that was in my pocket now. You don't have a jacket for tomorrow. She handed it back
He's
to
so
me,
cute.
smiling ruefully. I don't want to have to explain it to Charlie, she told me. Like, I just think that's so cute how he, I don't know, it seems like such
He's
a
very
normal
sentimental.
teenage boy thing to do in a way.
As I've said before, I think his love language is definitely gifts.
100% gifts, yeah.
He loves it. He puts a lot of meaning to objects. It's cute.
Yeah, it's adorable. I underlined this line here. I'm not sure why. He said, "Sleep well," I whispered, and leaned away before the urgency in my body, either the familiar thirst, okay, I know why, or the very new and strange hunger I suddenly felt, could make me do something that might hurt her. Is that alluding to a physical thirst? Sexual thirst?
Yeah, definitely.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. This book feels way more, okay, it's not that crazy, but it feels more adult to me.
It does to me too. I mean, even the presentation of it, the font is so much closer together.
Yeah, much smaller.
Much smaller.
It doesn't seem like a kid, well, young adult book.
Yeah. Do you think that's also because Edward is technically older?
Possibly.
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 I liked on page 212, Edward is so refreshingly happy, and I really love it. Can I read the passage?
Yes.
It says, more than that, I thought of Bella in requited love. She couldn't love me the way I loved her. Such an overpowering, all-consuming, crushing love would probably break her fragile body. But she felt you don't even know. But she felt strongly enough to subdue the instinct of fear, strongly enough to want to be with me. And being with her was the greatest happiness I had ever known. For a while, as I was all alone and hurting, no one else for a change, I allowed myself to feel that happiness without dwelling on the tragedy. Just be thrilled that she cared for me, just to exult in the triumph of winning her affection, just to imagine sitting close to her tomorrow, hearing her voice and earning her smiles. It was so sweet.
What a sweetheart.
I love those relief from how tortured he is.
I know. Do you think one of them loves the other more?
No, I don't think so. Do you?
I don't know. I do think it's even, but I just, the only reason I hesitate is Bella's whole thing with Jacob and Eclipse.
Yeah, that I'm telling you, it flashed through my mind, but I don't necessarily think an affection for someone else means that you love somebody less. Does that make sense?
I feel like she disrespected Edward.
Yeah, but
And if you loved someone, I don't think you would do that.
But she was manipulated by Jacob.
True.
And Edward did hurt Bella by leaving.
Don't hurt her!
Don't hurt her!
That's our, inside joke.
Yeah.
Should we even explain it? Actually, it relates kinda.
Yeah, it's related to Twilight. So I love the singer Julian Baker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys do too, but we were talking about, if Julian... No, we were talking about who Kristen should date, and Julian Baker identifies as queer, so we were like, oh, they should date each other. And because we love them both so much, and then I was like, but wait, no, I think Kristen would hurt her.
Yeah. Julian is just so soft-spoken and seems
Sweet.
shy.
Yeah.
I don't know why we could just picture Kristen breaking her heart and then Julian writing songs about it. So we started joking, don't hurt her.
Don't hurt her.
And now it just comes up. I don't know how.
Yeah. Sorry.
Kristen's doing.
Yeah. Sorry, Kristen. But she would be a heartbreaker.
Yeah. Don't hurt her.
Don't hurt her. Poor Julian.
Julian. Okay, I actually don't have anything else from this chapter.
I had just on 216, Carlisle's thinking about Edward, and he just says in his own thoughts, Edward deserves happiness. There must be a way. And about Bella and his relationship and how he wants to support it. And I just think it's weird that, any of the Cullens, I guess they can't help it, would be actively thinking about Edward when he's in the room.
They can't help it.
I just feel like Carlisle especially would have trained himself.
No, but you can't control your thoughts.
Or can you?
You can... I think you can control what you do with them.
Yeah.
But when they just show up... I feel like a thought like that is too fast in a way. How can you control it?
Yeah, that's true.
It's very nice of Carlisle to be thinking that.
I know. Pretty much all the Cullens have very pure thoughts, besides Rosalie.
Yeah.
None of them have intrusive thoughts ever.
Maybe Edward just doesn't tell us.
Yeah. He's a gentleman like that.
He is. Yeah.
Well, the next chapter is chapter 11, Interrogation. My first note is for page 221. 221, we just get some horny Edward here, and it's great. I'm just going to read it. He says, the fabric had clung to her skin in such an appealing way, cut low enough to reveal the mesmerizing shape of her collarbones. Collarbones are very sexualized in this series.
Mm-hmm.
Curling out from the hollow
They are
of her
attractive.
throat, the blue had flowed like water along the subtle shape of her body. It was better, essential, that I kept my thoughts far, far from that shape, so I was grateful for the unbecoming sweater. I couldn't afford to make mistakes. It would be a monumental mistake to dwell on the strange hungers that thoughts of her lips, her skin, her body, were shaking loose inside me. Hungers that had evaded me for 100 years, but I could not allow myself to think of touching her, because that was impossible. I would break her.
There's no indication in the text that that's how he would say that. I'd break her. I just love that he was saying the long sweater was too big for her, unflattering. It's just so funny. And then he later calls it ugly.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love when Edward's a little bitch.
Me too.
I don't know why. I like on the bottom of that page 221, he says, from now on, it must always be her choice.
Yeah. I like that. He's all
Cute.
about what's best for Bella. I feel like the critics so overlook that.
Critics. They don't know what they're talking about.
On the next page, he says, would it ever cease to thrill me that I was the one she was saying yes to? Which I just thought was so cute.
It was cute. So innocent. She gives the jacket back to him, and that upsets him. Very similar to before. I didn't realize that she was giving it back at first. I wouldn't have asked for it. I would rather she kept it. A token. Poor Edward.
No.
He's like, wait, you don't want to keep my jacket?
On page 224, Jessica's thinking just kind of bitchy thoughts once again. Or nosy thoughts to the very least. I had a question for you guys. Do you think that Edward would ever, and I guess I don't think he would, but do you think he would ever tell Bella the mean things that Jessica or any of her other human friends think?
It's a good question.
Seems like he doesn't, and I feel like especially if it's about Bella, he wouldn't want Bella to know that and make Bella insecure. But I feel like we never see Edward say to her, like, oh yeah, Angela, you can trust. Jessica, not so much.
Yeah.
Kind of refrains and, like, respects their privacy.
I know. I like that, actually. Yeah, you would think he would just say vaguely, like, Jessica's not a great person.
Yeah.
And I know this because I read her thoughts. But also, I wholeheartedly, I don't know, I'm against people telling their friends when someone else is, like, shit-talking them. I feel like it never leads to any good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always exceptions, but
Definitely exceptions.
I never like it when someone tells me, like, oh, someone said this about you. I'm like, why did you tell me?
I know.
You didn't need to tell me that.
Because it's kind of inevitable. People are always going to talk shit about you, no
Yeah.
matter what.
I hate that.
Yeah.
This girl I used to work with would always... There was this one girl that I worked with. This was at a chocolate place. It wasn't, like, in an office or anything. But we just did not get along, really. And this other girl would always update me on what... Wait, I shouldn't name names. What this girl would say about me. And I was like, you don't need to tell me. Like, this is just going to
No.
upset me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to think about it.
It's really
Yeah.
toxic, and yeah, that's happened to me before, also in a work environment.
No
as
way.
well. Yeah.
And would the other person be, like, updating you almost? Like, oh.
Not necessarily updating, but she just threw in that the boss, it wasn't really my boss, but a boss, said that my skirt was too short
Oh,
and
yeah.
inappropriate, and I just felt really embarrassed because she told me weeks later, and it.
Yeah,
And like
that's
that
not
she said it to
necessary.
other people. Yeah, it just made me feel like really shitty about myself. And you also don't know like what place somebody is in, and so if you were to
Yeah.
like just load that negativity onto them, like people say it behind people's backs for a reason. They don't want people to know.
What compels somebody to tell another what someone said about them?
The one time I did it and I thought I was totally justified is in college. I'm scared to say this, I guess. But in college, I had some friends, and one of the friends was really toxic and was really abusive, in my opinion, mentally abusive, and was very manipulative. And so that took a big toll on me and a lot of other people. And so by me telling one of the girls a mean thing that was said about her, it helped her to just end that friendship altogether. It was like the final straw, which I
okay,
felt like
I
was
see.
necessary
Yeah.
for a relationship that already needed to end. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd think Edward would maybe not get into details, but just tell her, like,
Yeah.
don't trust Jessica. However, I think Bella kind of knows that.
Yeah, I think
She doesn't hang out with
does,
Jessica
too.
all the time or anything.
Yeah, he could have. I think more so, and maybe he does it. Just instead of revealing people who are shit talking, just lift up the people who are not by saying, like, Angela's great, she's got great thoughts.
Yeah.
She really cares about you.
Bella, props to Bella for not asking him.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I feel like I would ask him, like,
Me
what
too.
are they thinking? What are they thinking?
Me too.
What are they thinking?
She, like, almost doesn't care.
I know, she never asks about
And when
it.
he does say what someone's thinking, she goes, don't tell me that. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Tell me Charlie's thoughts.
I know. I would be all over that.
I know. But I also would choose, if I had the option, to not have the power to read people's minds.
Yeah.
I think...
Me too, I
think that is part of the reason why Edward is so tortured.
Tortured soul. I know back in the day I said I would want to read minds, but no, I don't think I do anymore.
No. I don't want to know. I don't even want to read someone's journal. I don't want to know what their innermost personal thoughts are.
Curiosity killed the cat. It's true. I feel like whenever you go looking for something,
You'll find
you
it. Yeah.
are upset by it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Also, yeah, it's fun in a way to not know what people are thinking.
Yeah.
Mm.
Everyone, it's interesting. Everyone in Edward's thoughts, or at least that he tells us, has a inner monologue happening. He's
I know.
never just like so-and-so is visualizing.
Watching Shrek in their head.
Yeah.
I know. Well, yeah, it's almost like Charlie's the only one.
Mm-hmm.
He did tell us, like, Charlie seeing all these images and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he does see images
Yeah.
through people.
Yeah.
Like we know he does with Alice. But yeah, most of my thoughts are not really a monologue.
Yeah, me too. I feel like most are not.
Sometimes.
I mean, I feel like it's tough though. The ones I'm aware of are usually coherent, but the ones that like are just natural, I'm not aware enough to know what they are.
Thoughts are so weird. Are you ever like, okay, when I do have my monologue, I'm like, all right, after this, let's
Yeah.
cook dinner or whatever. I'm like, let's? Who am I? Who's me? And then I'm like thinking like, me and you, it's like myself, my spirit, and my body. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. It's
Yeah, it's like we're a team in here. I feel like, what's it, Inside Out also made me think about my mind. It's like a whole committee, or like the SpongeBob episode where they're like in an office. We forgot his name!
Oh, yeah, it's so weird. Edward puts the jacket back on that Bella borrowed, and he says, I put the jacket on when I got to class, letting her fragrance swim thick around me. I would burn now. Let the scent desensitize me, and it would be easier to ignore it later when I was with her again at lunch. So interesting. He's just basking in her scent on him.
I love that in class he randomly starts smiling.
Oh, yeah.
And
Sorry, I just like yelled that.
this student in class, Rob Sawyer, who sat at the desk at my right side, flinched visibly and slid deeper into his seat away from me. Ugh, creepy thought.
Well, I hadn't lost it entirely.
I love that.
Oh, Edward.
And then
Loved
he,
it.
on page 228, he randomly starts laughing to himself because he's listening to Jessica and Bella's conversation, and Bella says, he drives like a maniac, it was terrifying, and he laughed out loud, interrupting Mr. Mason's announcement. Tried to turn the laugh into a cough, but no one was fooled. Mr. Mason shot me an irritated look, but I didn't even bother to listen to the thought behind it. I was hearing Jessica. That's so funny to me.
Edward's just unhinged.
Yeah, it's also funny to me picturing Edward pretending to cough in
I know.
class.
To cover up a laugh. Like, why does he even care?
I know, and it's also funny that a vampire, even a vampire, has to fight the urge to laugh sometimes.
I know. And also feels socially awkward enough that he has to cover it up.
Yeah.
Because he knows that's weird.
Don't you hate that? Don't you hate when you're in public?
Oh
and
my god.
you have to laugh, but no one else is laughing, and you have to.
Do you ever just start laughing so hard? Because I'll be like remembering something and I just start giggling.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone does that, but So embarrassing.
I still remember, I was actually just telling this story recently. When I was a freshman in high school, my Spanish teacher fell. She was young, so it wasn't a big deal, but she fell and just completely toppled over. I think a desk came down with her.
Oh my
and
God.
People chuckled for a second, and then were like, "Are you okay?" 10 minutes later, I'm still in class, like, with my head in
No
my
way.
arm, trying so hard
so
to
funny.
not laugh. It was so painful. I was like, how has everybody moved on?
Yeah, that's the craziest when you can't contain it and you're gonna die basically because you're laughing so hard but you're trying to hold it in. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's happened to me in school too.
It's like painful.
That hasn't happened to me in a while.
Yeah, me too. Maybe because I'm not in public very often. That's the worst.
What you got next?
I feel like I don't have... Oh, I wrote, I'm dead at this passage on 2:30. I don't know what it's
Ooh, I
about,
have
though, once
something.
again, so...
Read it.
Read it. I said, Edward said, I must not have been as transparently obvious and out of control as I thought. Still, observant as she was, how could she not realize that I was in love with her? I sifted through our conversation, almost surprised that I hadn't said the words out loud. It felt as though that knowledge was the subtext of every communication between us. Oh my god.
So cute.
That is so cute.
So freaking cute.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of the subtext in his narration.
Yeah.
And then on 2:32, Mr. Varner, there's like an interruption in class. I don't know what it is. But Edward says, it was good that Jessica could no longer quiz Bella. I needed a minute.
He's such a stalker.
He's so excited about this interaction.
It's so cute.
And then he also talks about him and Alice in gym class and how they had to play tennis or badminton. And it's just so weird to think about them having to exert physical energy in class but hold themselves back so much. Seems like they hate it.
It must be kind of lame. Then we have him and Bella in the cafeteria talking about, you know, him being a vampire and stuff, and Rosalie's freaking the F out. How could he? That selfish jackass. How could he do this to us?
So annoying. Edward eats something, as we see in Twilight, but he says, I sighed as I thought of how I would have to choke it back up later. Disgusting. That's really interesting how they cannot digest food at all. What if they just had a buffet and feasted? Where would that go?
I guess in their stomach. But
Yeah.
Then they don't. Why don't they go to the bathroom?
I know.
All right.
I mean, if we're talking about the mythology, technically Edward can, and I hate to say it, guys, secrete liquids.
My jaw's dropped right now.
That's, of course, how, you know, Renee's came to be. Something came out of his dick. Why?
It's mythology.
The mythology, but of course, yeah. I mean, they wouldn't have urine and stuff. And the blood just kind of is absorbed into their venom until they need more.
But where does it go? That's my biggest question.
It just stays, right?
How could it just stay? Where is the blood, like, burning off?
In the venom. I think the
Blood
venom
comes
just,
out
I think it just
as
evaporates.
venom?
I think it
How much
evaporates.
how much venom is leaving their body?
Yeah, I think they don't leave.
I feel like what goes in must
venom.
come out.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Because they get thirsty, like they need more, so where did it go? It's like we eat food and that gives us energy.
Yeah. I mean, it is explained in this book at one point. I think it's just burned off by the venom until they need more. But I guess, yeah, my question is, if the venom does leave him, does he need more venom?
No, I think he just produces it.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's like how our body produces saliva or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Weird. Whatever, we don't need to get into details. I mean, I usually don't need that many explanations. I think it gets even messier when
Too
we try to
messy.
explain it
Yeah,
scientifically.
like it's like this. Does he have an esophagus if he's able to swallow?
Do they have all the body parts? They did.
They did at one point, yeah.
Why would it? Yeah, they must.
But now it says, though, there's no organs whatsoever in there. I mean, if you were to chop up a vampire, there would be an organ.
I don't know. Why wouldn't there be?
Well, we don't see it in the movies at the very least.
The movies.
They're just like, they're marble.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really make sense.
Just magic.
Yeah,
It's magic.
Just magic.
I liked how, so he eats the piece of pizza, and then he says, she took a bite from the same slice of pizza. It amazed me how trusting she was. It's kind of, I know it's such a small detail, but it is cute.
Yeah.
I don't know, that she bit where he bit in the pizza.
That is cute.
Of course, she didn't know I was venomous, not that sharing food would hurt her. Still, I expected her to treat me differently as something other. She never did.
Oh yeah, if his venom is on the pizza just a little bit, would her eating it turn her? Obviously not, but what if a lot of venom was
Is
on
venom
the pizza?
always coming out of his teeth, or...
We don't know.
No, it seems like it comes out just when he's... It's almost like, I don't know how else to put it, like aroused, but in a thirst kind of way.
Yeah,
Venom,
true.
The venom comes out, but I don't think him just biting that
When
piece
he's
of pizza.
sucking.
When he's sucking and fucking.
Yes! I feel like we need merch for that. When he's sucking and fucking. Yeah. Kelly, that is creative.
I didn't come up with that.
Oh, you didn't?
Well, I didn't come up with a phrase. I just related it to Twilight, though.
I've never heard it before. That's funny. Oh, Tia Rosalie's thinking about burning Edward's car.
Oh, yeah.
That is
So
insane.
dramatic. She's a psycho.
Yeah. That is really not okay. She needs to get that under control.
I thought it was cute on page 238 that... So he's wondering if she likes him, basically. Okay, he says, "Do you truly believe that you care for me more than I do for you?" And she says, yes, you're going to answer. Yes, you really think that. Yes, I really think that. And she blushes and she seems worried and stuff. And he realizes... Abruptly, I realized this was very hard for her to admit because she truly believed it, and I was no better than that coward Mike, asking her to confirm her feelings before I'd confirmed my own. It didn't matter that I felt I'd made my side abundantly clear. It hadn't gone through to her, and so I had no excuse.
That coward Mike.
I feel like he isn't that clear. Like when you're reading Twilight,
Yeah, I agree.
at this point in the book, yeah, he seems like he's being a little flirty. He's definitely attentive,
Yeah.
but you can't really tell that he's in love with her. Actually, you can't tell at all, I don't think.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say at this point in Twilight you're like, oh, he's in love with her.
I agree. He's giving such mixed messages. Especially
Yeah.
since he keeps saying, we can't be friends, I'm not good for you. And ignored her. I mean, he gave a horrible first impression.
Yeah.
First impressions stay with you for a while.
He's like, wait, you don't know that I care for you?
Yeah, it's like, well, you didn't say. I'm really bad at reading messages, too, for the most part. Like, people gotta spell that out.
Yeah, someone can be like super affectionate to me and I still think they don't really mean it, so
Yeah.
I feel that.
I don't really have anything else for this chapter, though.
Oh, I have a few more. I like on 238 at the bottom, she says, well, look at me. Trying to say like, oh, I'm ordinary. And he thinks I was looking. All I ever did was look at her.
Aww.
So cute.
So cute.
Don't hurt her. Don't hurt her. Okay, and then on 241 he says that this hideous sweater, once again, trashing her outfit.
Cute.
I'd be very upset if Edward Cullen thought my sweater was hideous.
I
but
know.
Okay, whatever. Why did I underline this? Oh, I think I just thought it was cute. She said, "Are you like a bear too?" she asked in an almost whisper. I don't know why I thought that was cute. It's like, are you like a bear too? I don't know, I just never pictured Bella like that.
No.
It seemed very sweet.
Yeah. Can you picture Kristen Stewart delivering a line like that?
No.
That'd be cute, though.
She'd be like, are you like a bear too?
Yeah. True.
She'd do it in her own way.
Yeah. Are you like a bear?
Oh, we just watched the movie American Ultra.
Oh, yeah. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It's a Kristen Stewart movie. We're trying to watch all of them. I don't know if that will ever happen. But...
I know, because then we watch one and then she makes another one.
Every day.
Yeah. It's like, we cannot get ahead of this. It was so funny.
Yeah, I
though.
really enjoyed it.
I feel like it's really underrated.
I agree, yeah. Like, I'm not usually into action movies.
Yeah.
Neither is Mel, really, I don't think.
No.
But it's funny. It doesn't feel like...
Doesn't take itself seriously.
Yeah. It's kind of like laughing at itself a little bit.
But then we were talking after. It's interesting. We haven't. I think I may have seen Catch That Kid, but she's done like 3 spy action movies.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
With Charlie's Angels being the 3rd one.
Still never saw that.
Me neither. I'm less interested in it.
I know. At one point, I wanted to see it, and then I don't know what happened.
I mean, it's not my kind of movie in general, but
Don't call me Angel.
I
would
would
watch
see
it.
for. Yeah, I'd see it because Kristen's in it, but I'm
Yeah.
just not that interested otherwise. Sorry, Kristen.
Maybe it will surprise us.
Maybe.
So the next chapter is chapter 12, Complications.
My first note is just general. So as we know in this chapter, Edward wants to thank Angela for how pure her thoughts are, especially about Bella. So he comes up with this plan, which he convinces Emmett to help him with, and Emmett's like, what?
Yeah.
Where he goes by Ben, who Angela has a crush on, and they like try to make Ben jealous by talking about how he is into Angela. And they say, like, oh, but she really likes Ben. And he kind of sets it up and orchestrates it for her. But my question is, I feel like Edward and Bella are already kind of going public at this point. Is this a bad look for Edward that he then is overheard saying how he's really into Angela? Like, it kind of takes away from what's going on with Bella here.
Yeah, definitely. But I feel like Ben has a thought kind of like, oh, doesn't he already have so many girls or whatever? Like, it is a bad look, but I feel like Edward already has a bad look in a way, so...
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I know what you mean.
It makes Bella seem less special. If
Yeah.
I was Bella, I'd honestly be embarrassed by that. I don't think Bella would be, but I would be, because I'd be like, oh, like, it just seems like it's like...
Well, I don't
I'm
think...
second best to Angela.
At this point, all they've done is talk in the cafeteria.
Yeah, but
That doesn't mean that they're
did
dating.
draw heads.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
Yeah,
anything per se.
yeah.
I love this plotline, though. I think it's really cool. I like that Stephanie added this.
I know.
It was a little weird to me that he would never mention this to Bella.
I know.
But as we know, Edward's a mysterious private guy. Very private guy.
Yeah. I know, you would think he casually would just be like, oh, you know, Angela and Ben, I actually take responsibility.
I know. Like, what?
That would be a light conversation that would really distract from all the heavier things that he's trying to
I
change
know.
the subject from.
It seems like a pretty big deal to me.
Yeah.
If I was telling her what I did today, I would mention it. They don't really talk about that, though. I liked on the first page of this chapter, this is just getting into details about the same thing. He's just listening to Angela's thoughts and says, heartbreak was everywhere. I don't know. I like that part. And then he's talking about how Mr. Banner is bringing a TV in for class with a VCR. And it says he was skipping through a section he wasn't particularly interested in, genetic disorders, by showing a movie for the next 3 days. Which, I don't know, this is probably me reading way too much into it and being like a English professor right now, but I wondered why Stephanie even included that, and I just underlined genetic disorders because I feel like genetics is a big thing in Twilight. Like the werewolves, Renesmee, I don't know.
Oh, true.
The chromosomes.
Yeah, the chromosomes.
There's a lot of talk about chromosomes later in the series, so that was funny.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Oh, I found something. I have something to compare.
Mm-hmm.
It's on 248.
All right, go for it.
So they're watching the movie now on the VCR.
Oh.
And, you know, they turn the lights off.
tension.
And there's tension. You guys probably remember this in Twilight. Okay. He says, as though we were alone, just the two of us, hidden in the dark room, sitting so close beside each other. My hand moved toward her without my permission, just to touch her hand, to hold it in the darkness. Would that be such a horrific mistake? If my skin bothered her, she would only have to pull away. I yanked my hand back, folded my arms tightly across my chest, and clenched my hands closed. No mistakes, I'd promised myself. If I held her hand, I would only want more. Another insignificant touch, another move closer to her. I could feel that. Blah, blah, blah. Bella folded her arms securely across her own chest, and her hands balled up into fists identical to mine. What are you thinking? I was dying to whisper the words to her. So, I just thought that was interesting, because him reaching his hand out, this is so small. Like,
No, but the tension is
I know.
so...
Well, that's what I love about Twilight, is that it is such a slow build that something like this, you really feel it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, he's almost going to touch her hand.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't. But
that's what real life is like sometimes.
Yeah, it is. And so in Twilight, it's just... she's thinking the same thing, though. I was stunned by unexpected electricity that flowed through me, amazed that it was possible to be more aware of him than I already was. A crazy impulse to reach over and touch him, to stroke his perfect face just once in the darkness, nearly overwhelmed me. I crossed my arms tightly across my chest, my hands balling into fists. I was losing my mind. The opening credits began, lighting the room by a token amount. My eyes, of their own accord, flicked to him. I smiled sheepishly as I realized his posture was identical to mine, fists clenched under his arms, right down to the eyes, peering sideways at me. He grinned back, his eyes somehow managing to smolder even in the dark. I looked away before I could start hyperventilating. It was absolutely ridiculous that I should feel dizzy. So, really funny. It's almost phrased in a similar way. But she doesn't notice that he reached his hand out, so it's cool.
Yeah. On 249, I wrote, he touched her! It was just so exciting.
He touched her. I know.
Then my hand lifted without a conscious command for it to do so, as gently as if she were made of the thinnest glass, as if she were fragile as the bubble I'd imagined. My fingers stroked the warm skin that covered her cheekbone. It heated under my touch, and I could feel the pulse of blood speed beneath her transparent skin. It's just so...
Oh, that transparent skin again.
Yeah. It's just so exciting. Mm-hmm. And then I wrote, oh my gosh, on the next page I wrote, oh my god, so hot.
What?
He says, 1,000 different possibilities ran through my mind in an instant, 1,000 different ways to touch her. Oh my god. The tip of my finger tracing the shape of her lips, my palm cupping her chin, pulling the clip from her hair and letting it spill out across my hand, my arms winding around her waist, holding her against the length of my body. Enough.
You're cute, Mel. Oh my god.
Oh my god. I'm
against the
excited
length.
reading this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Edward.
But then, oh my gosh, so they do this favor for Angela, and I love that Emma agrees, and this is just so sweet. It shows how close their bond is. Mm-hmm. He said, no one had a better brother than mine.
Oh, I underlined that too. Poor Jasper.
Rosalie was a queen, but I would always owe her one for choosing Emmett. I know. Yeah, I love how he's just so close with Emmett.
It's cute.
They're bros.
They are. I didn't really realize that until Midnight Sun.
They really complement each other.
I was going to say New Moon again. What's wrong with me? Oh. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that Angela is 6 feet tall.
That's tall.
Or not 6 feet tall. She's 6 inches taller than Ben.
Oh, yeah. And Edward kind of remarks, like, something as silly as that shouldn't keep them apart.
Yeah, but how tall is Ben? That's significant.
Maybe she's Maybe she is 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Maybe he's 5'6".
Yeah, good math there.
Yay, I can subtract 6 from 12.
Yeah. I would have had to think about that.
Yeah. But it was a good point because here he is with this, I mean, vampires aren't real, so
Yeah.
we can't really relate. But here he is with this relationship that is so hard to make work. And then here's two people, all that's really keeping them apart maybe is that Ben's embarrassed that he's shorter. Like,
Exactly. And that
doesn't
actually
matter.
That actually does keep relationships apart.
Yeah.
Like,
It's true.
I have friends who have been so on the fence about guys because they were shorter than them, and it's like, we knew, in the grand scheme of things, that is so insignificant.
I do think since I'm like 5'2", I've never really been in that position. So
Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, some people, physically, that's just not what they're attracted to, and so I feel like they don't necessarily feel good about that. Could be a deal breaker, but it's also something they maybe can't change.
yeah. Ugh. It sucks though. I feel
Yeah.
really bad for shorter guys that happens.
I know. Or a lot of taller women feel
Yeah.
insecure about their height, and like they
Yeah.
can't date someone shorter than them because I feel like height has also been so gendered that like it's,
Yeah.
you feel maybe too masculine if you're too tall as a woman, or too feminine if you're too short as a guy. I don't know.
There's always someone though, guys. There's always someone into anything,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
Seriously.
100%. And also, no matter what your height is, just own it, because
Yeah.
that, me as someone who's 5'5", average height, but I think it makes a huge difference. I love when I see a woman who's really tall and she's wearing like my best friend Hannah, she'll wear like 6-inch heels to make herself even taller, and I think that attracts such positive attention.
Yeah. You go, girl.
You go, girl.
I mean, I did date someone like my height, basically.
Yeah,
But I just happen to be...
the same height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool with me. It was fine with me. In that aspect.
My next note is 256.
Me too. Oh my god, wonder if it's the same thing.
Is it Mike's thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate him. I wish he would die.
I hope he drives this shiny car right off a cliff.
Why couldn't he just leave her alone, stick to his own kind, to the freaks? What does he mean by that? His siblings?
Yeah, I think so.
Stick to your own kind, your family.
Stick to your own kind.
Date your family.
the emo kids.
Yeah. No, but there's nobody for him to date of his... I don't know what he means by that.
I know. I wrote, oh my god, chill, Mike. That's just, I hope you die.
I hope he dies.
That's horrible.
Have I ever wished that someone would die?
I have, yeah.
I don't know if I have. Maybe.
But I
It's
don't
not a good
mean
thing.
it.
Not a good thing.
It's not a good thing.
That just reminded me of Marriage Story when he's like, I hope you die.
Yeah. I wake up every day and I'm disappointed. I don't know if that's a quote. But.
I think so. I don't know. Maybe when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like hopefully as you get older, hopefully Mike doesn't think things like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, he's a teenager and he's pissed off.
I have another thirsty Edward line.
Oh.
259, he said, for 1 second, I struggled desperately to find the strength, the control to be able to put my mouth so close to her skin.
Ooh.
Love it. Oh, my next note is not that significant, but I just said I really like how Emmett is really content with being a vampire. He's so at peace with everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, everyone else is a little bit tortured about it, but there's really nothing that's bothering him. He's just along for the ride.
I like that too.
But
It's
everyone
refreshing.
else would trade anything to be human.
Emmett is so chill.
He's so secure.
Mm-hmm. He really is. I like Emmett says, well, Rosalie's saying, why? Why did you tell her? And Emmett says, I'm actually surprised you were you were able to. Emmett said before I could respond, you rarely say the word, even with us. It's not your favorite. I guess he means vampire.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting bit. And then Edward thinks, what would it feel like to feel the way Emmett did? To be so practical, so free from regret, to be able to so easily accept and move forward. So, power of now, of Emmett, so present.
I know.
Emmett could become a spiritual guru if he wanted to.
I feel like Emmett should leave Rosalie.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's not going to happen, but I just think that she brings so much negativity into his life that he does not need. I don't think it really bothers him, but he can do way better.
He should leave Rosalie. Imagine if that happened.
I know. What about Emmett and Leo Clearwater?
That would be cool.
That'd
be a cool story.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Oh, he's never going to leave her.
I know.
He's never going to leave her.
I know, you're right. When Harry Met Sally. Reference. They never do, they never leave her.
That is a weird thing about the vampires. I don't truly get it.
Yeah.
In a way. We'll get into this later with James and Victoria.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it then.
One thing I have for this chapter, page 260. Oh, did you have something on 263? On page 263, it's revealed that Bella learned their secret from talking to Jacob, and I just don't really understand why they never really expected rumors to get out.
Yeah.
That way.
Well, their end of the bargain is to promise that they won't tell anybody.
Yeah. It's true.
So actually, that is kind of bad.
Yeah, that is pretty bad. Jacob, literally set this whole thing in motion.
They weren't supposed to tell anybody. Wasn't that the deal? We'll preserve your secret.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll let you stay here as long as you don't come over here and you don't bite anybody.
Yeah, and Jacob is
sure
just
that's the deal.
Casually breaking the secret.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's weird that they're not more angry about it in a way.
I know.
Well, I don't expect, Carlisle to be, but Rosalie for sure. Okay, chapter 13. Another complication. Did you guys read it?
Right away, I said, I love how in this chapter we get so much more backstory into Bella's life. It's so fascinating.
Well, right now he's going to her room and creeping in that way that he does. I don't know why I underlined this line. I think I just liked it. I was in the trees when the sky lightened from black to gray. I held my breath, this time to keep the scent of her from escaping. I refused to let the pure morning air erase the ache in my throat. So now it's like he wants it.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Especially, he says, when the longer he's around it, the more used to it he is. And the less painful it is.
So yeah, this is the chapter when he's asking her questions, because now it's his turn.
Yes, and we learn so many specifics that Bella doesn't care to tell us in her perspective.
I know. I feel like in Twilight, I kind of got why Stephanie didn't get so specific. In a way, it's a little superficial and doesn't add to the story per se, but I think for fans, it's really fun to know these little details about Bella.
Yeah, and
it's cool.
I think little details, too, also tell you so much about a person's character. I mean, not really. It doesn't matter what her favorite candy is, but it makes her more...
I have something to say about that.
Oh, wait, I do, too.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll just go through it. What's your favorite color? Edward asks. It changes from day to day. What's your favorite color today? Probably brown. Weird. We got 2 green. That always bothered me that Bella didn't appreciate the greenery of Forks. Washington's a beautiful place.
I know.
But whatever.
No, it's weird.
It is interesting that brown's her favorite color. It's unique.
Yeah, well, I feel like we also see that a lot in the way that they dressed her in the movies and stuff. They really incorporated that.
What is Edward's favorite color?
Blue?
Does he say that?
Well, it says Alice dresses, spoiler, dresses Bella in the blue prom dress, and
I thought you just liked how it looked on Bella.
Yeah, but I think if he likes how it looks on Bella, it's probably his favorite color.
I guess.
But he also probably, I think he likes brown because of the color of her eyes.
Mm. Okay, but what is his personality without Bella?
Oh, gray.
Gray. Yeah, maybe. I've
do you
known some
guys
people
think?
whose favorite color is gray. Okay, yeah, and then he asks what music is in her CD player. Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory. Not what I was expecting. And then he has the same CD.
Yeah.
Weird.
Her favorite movie, she struggles to pick one, but she says Pride and Prejudice, The 6 Hour One with Colin Firth, Vertigo, and Monty Python and the Holy Grail. There are more, but I'm blanking.
Are these just Stephanie's favorite
I
movies?
know.
I haven't seen the Colin Firth one. I would like to, but I like those movies. They're good. That's pretty cool of Bella.
Her favorite smell is lavender, which is weird because that's also coincidentally the smell of her blood. I don't know how that works. I don't understand how someone's blood would smell like lavender. That doesn't make sense.
And clean laundry.
Yeah.
That's a common one.
Even James remarks lavender. Huh. Like what? Ow! I hope my blood
Where is this coming from?
smells like what is my favorite smell? Gasoline.
Gasoline. Yeah.
Pine trees.
Oh, her blood smells like gas.
Yeah.
What candy do you like best? I'm surprised Edward would even ask that.
I know.
Okay, this is weird to me
Her
though.
answer,
Black licorice and Sour Patch Kids. I'm sorry, black licorice is the worst candy.
It's the worst
that's ever existed.
I literally circled it and wrote, "Ew, what the fuck? Is she for real?"
Sorry if anyone's listening and likes black licorice. I don't mean to start a fight.
It's disgusting.
But I know.
It's the grossest candy, I think,
It's
hands down.
notoriously the worst candy.
Yeah, Sour Patch Kids, fine.
Mm.
But black licorice, oh my
I'm such a
God.
chocolate person
Me
that
too.
I don't know why. Also, I don't want to divide anybody. Don't hate me. But it kind of weirds me out when people prefer gummies. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Something about it just weirds me out.
Sometimes I'll crave a gummy for sure, but
I don't know why
they don't
I never
hit the same
crave
as chocolate.
gummies. I never really crave gummies.
do you have a favorite gummy? Like if you were to have a gummy?
Gummy? I really never eat them. Probably just like Swedish fish or something.
Yeah, I would say
don't know.
Swedish fish as
I
well.
used to like the ribbons, like at the candy store.
Yeah.
But I don't really eat gummies. I actually don't even like Twizzlers.
Oh wow.
Spoiler. I don't like the taste of them. They taste like plastic to me.
I like fruit by the foot.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, fruit roll-ups.
I haven't had that in forever. Oh yeah. I'll
fruit
buy
snacks.
I'll buy those things at Trader Joe's that are like fruit bars. I know that's
Yeah.
not even a gummy. It's not a candy, but it's kind of similar vibe.
Yeah.
I like those. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. She's just not a chocolate girl.
I know.
Well,
I would think she would. I would think she would be because of her chocolate eyes.
I know. I know. She likes lavender, so she's lavender blood. She's chocolate eyes, so she likes chocolate.
Yeah. I can't believe black licorice. My God.
I know. That is weird.
Wait, there's a song by the band Peach Pit called Black Licorice. Okay, yeah, this is the lyrics. I'm just black licorice, and all the people that I know would rather leave me in the bowl.
Black licorice is so disgusting.
Like, he's trying to say, like, no one wants me.
Yeah.
I'm black licorice. Oh.
When I used to go to I still do go to the dentist, but
When I used to go to the dentist.
not recently, but when I was a kid, I used to always try to get the grossest flavors of the fluorite just to torture myself.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, just to say I got it and to sound like edgy. So I literally had gotten black licorice. Fluoride and it's the most disgusting
You just
thing
wanted
ever.
to be edgy?
Yeah, or just like I wanted to just like, I don't know. I just would get the impulse to try the grossest thing.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Are you a masochist?
Maybe. Maybe. I just wanted to see, like, how bad it could be.
What a sick masochistic
I wanted to be
lion.
surprised, I guess.
Wow. I feel like I would always pick, like, watermelon or something.
Oh, yeah.
I do like watermelon Sour Patch Kids.
I can not do anything watermelon after one of my first horrible drinking experiences. Anything watermelon is...
Poor
I can't
Mel.
even hear the name watermelon.
I mean, it's a little overrated. It doesn't really taste like watermelon anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I think watermelon, controversial,
The real fruit.
So overrated.
Oh, me too.
I know
my
we
God.
agree on this. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Come at us. DM us.
And you're
No,
at a pool
don't.
party and someone shows up with a watermelon. I don't understand how some people freak the fuck out.
I know.
They're like, watermelon!
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
know.
god! It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's literally just like a flavored slushy water.
Yeah.
I don't
Does this
get
happen
it.
everywhere? At least in like New England, I don't know. For some reason, when someone brings out a watermelon in the backyard, it's like
It's like the
holy shit,
craziest
Yeah.
thing ever. Like, honestly, that does
we have
nothing.
watermelon.
There's nothing for me. It's so easy to just go get a watermelon from
Yeah.
the store and cut it up.
I just think, I mean, yeah, it's refreshing if you're thirsty, but it's very bland. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather eat a berry or something.
Yeah, and I don't get why people have that reaction to it. Like, it's not
I guess because it's
appropriate.
just summer, because they're not in season, so you don't usually have it the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think it's an overrated fruit.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
all melons kind of suck.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
too
me too.
watery.
I skip it in the fruit salad.
Fruit salad. I mean, I think watermelon is probably the best of the melons, but
What are the other ones just beside regular melon?
like cantaloupe, I think is a
oh
melon.
yeah, I don't like that either.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna Google it. Melons.
Fruit salad, I really only like a strawberry, a
Blueberries.
blueberry, a pineapple, and only pineapple sometimes. I'm not super crazy about it. And
Oh, I like pineapple.
I feel like that's it.
I didn't used to.
Like,
Yeah.
There's nothing really else in a fruit salad
Watermelon.
I like.
Cantaloupe. Cantaloupe sucks.
Oh yeah, cantaloupe is disgusting. What if that was on the cover of the Twilight book?
A cantaloupe. Oh my gosh. I don't know. There's other melons, but you know what? I'm not that familiar with them. Oh, honeydew melon. It's the green one.
Oh, okay.
That will be in
That's
salad sometimes.
I feel like that's what I think of as a regular melon.
Yeah, that's called honeydew. Also kind of bland.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I haven't had a lot of these.
Watermelon sugar high.
Watermelon sugar high. Watermelon sugar. Okay, I do love that song, but I gotta say the lyrics make no sense.
I have to do a deep
They
dive.
really
I don't
don't.
know.
Tastes like strawberries. Wait, I thought we were singing about
Yeah,
watermelon.
True.
Like
what
what?
does that mean? On a summer evening.
And he says, and it sounds just like a song. This is a song.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is dumb. I really like that song, but you can't listen to the lyrics. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're so silly.
This is a song. Let's see, what else? He asks her... Oh, so she also likes Beauty and the Beast? And The Empire Strikes Back?
I know that's everyone's favorite, but for good reason, I assured her. What? He's watched Star Wars?
He asks her, where would you like to travel?
Prince
And...
Edward Island? That's cool.
Yeah.
New York?
Do you think she says Prince Edward Island solely because his name is Edward?
No, she says Anne of Green Gables, you know.
Oh, yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, New York, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
She's been to LA and of course Phoenix.
And then, if I can go anywhere, yeah, that was a question, Bella. I'd want to go to England, see all the stuff I've been reading about. I do think she would like it there.
I do think so too.
Favorite places you've already been? She says Santa Monica Pier. It's interesting to me. My mom said Monterey was better, but we never did get that far up the coast.
She seemed a lot more traveled in the movie with that quilt.
Oh, yeah, I know. They definitely added to that.
Yeah.
That's not in the book. I don't think she's been to the East Coast, actually.
Well, yeah, because he says, what's the farthest you've ever been? And she said, here, I guess, farthest north from Phoenix anyway, farthest east Albuquerque, but I was so young then, I don't remember. Farthest west would probably be the beach in La Push.
I like that he's kind of freaked out by this a little bit.
Yeah.
Because though she'd only had 17 years to explore, I still felt surprised and guilty. She'd seen so little, experienced such a meager amount of what life had to offer. It was impossible that she should truly know what she wanted now. He feels bad, like, because he's lived so long, he's done all these things, and he's like, oh, shoot.
Yeah,
It's not even.
God,
Yeah.
if he only knew how little I had seen at that age. He's seen more than I had, I think.
If only you knew how little I know about the things that matter.
What's that from?
Call Me By Your Name.
Oh, yeah.
The things that matter.
Well, I guess maybe I had seen more.
You...
I'd been to all of New England.
Well, it
at
sounds
that
like
age, I'd been
you'd
to all
been
of
to
New England and
Florida.
Florida, yeah.
That's
it. And New
I'd
York.
been to Ireland. Okay, well, now I don't want to start bragging.
Yeah.
I did go on the Europe trip
Now I've seen
to France
a
and
good amount.
Italy. And I'd been to Quebec. Yeah.
I mean, I guess she's seen only a handful of states.
Yeah.
He says, tell me about books. And she says, you can't make me choose a favorite. And then she says, where do I start? Little Women.
Wow.
And then everything Austen, though I'm not a huge fan of Emma.
I can't believe that. I love Emma. Why not? Ugh, she's so full of herself.
I just feel like Stephanie Meyer's
Yeah.
opinions coming in.
I
Jane
love
Eyre.
Emma. Shut up. I'll fight you. Okay, Jane Eyre. Yeah, I actually haven't seen that. I mean,
That's
read
my
that yet.
idea of a heroine. And I said, of course it is, because that's who she's based off of.
Oh, yeah. To Kill a Mockingbird, Fahrenheit 451, all of the Chronicles of Narnia, but especially The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, Gone with the Wind. Yeah, these are all Stephanie's favorite books.
Yeah.
It is. Orson Scott Card. Yeah, I know Stephanie likes him.
But it shows how well read Bella is at 17 years old.
I think it's interesting. She says that book Tooth and Claw, and it comes up later, and I hadn't heard of that book before either. Because Edward says he's read all of them, I think, except Tooth and Claw. And I'm also not familiar with that book.
Yeah, it is interesting. Edward says, he said, I could see elements of the stories in her makeup, characters that had shaped the context of her world. There was a bit of Jane Eyre in her, a portion of Scout Finch, and Jo March, a measure of Eleanor Dashwood, and Lucy Pevensey. I was sure I would find more connections. I learned more about her. Don't want to see Scout. I guess, yeah, she's like an outsider. But I almost wonder if that's Stephanie writing in her inspiration for the character
Maybe.
into Edward's narration.
Maybe. Music. She says she's not super musical, which is interesting.
But she's into Simon and Garfunkel, Neil Diamond, Joni Mitchell, John Denver.
I freaking love Simon and Garfunkel. And the others are cool too.
Yeah.
But she says I listened to what my mom had, so this is actually her mom's taste.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Kinda. That would be hard for me. Music's
That
very
someone
important to
doesn't have
me.
a taste. Yeah, but she's
Yeah.
only 17.
Usually that's when teenagers are their most obsessed with music.
I don't know. I think I found my music taste when I was about 20.
Yeah, well, doesn't matter to Edward, but and when I was in high school, like, I didn't care that much, but I always wanted to date someone who was really into music and, like, discovering music. So this would be a turn off to me. No offense,
Yeah.
Bella. I don't think I'd want to date you.
TV shows, she doesn't watch TV.
Oh, yeah, I don't watch a lot of TV. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Coke or Pepsi, Dr. Pepper. Interesting. She's so similar to Caitlin. My sister doesn't really... Well, she's kind of getting more into music a little bit, but she's also not that into music and also loves Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. You know Dr. Pepper? Wait, I think you told me. It's the oldest soda.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is surprising.
I know.
That's
ice
funny
cream.
that he asked her Coke or Pepsi, and
I know.
she picks a different soda.
I can't believe he asks all this.
I know.
Favorite ice cream, cookie dough. Pizza, cheese, boring but true.
Oh, that's I have to judge that.
I like cheese too.
I know, but I mean, it's not fun.
I think I would have said cheese
Really?
at the time. Yeah.
Interesting.
Why? What would you say?
I don't know. I love pizza with chicken on it.
I think now I would say margarita, which is like kind of boring. It's like basically cheese, but I want it to be an actual margarita,
Yeah.
the Neapolitan style. Or I'd say like with spinach or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But I personally don't like pepperoni pizza. I mean, usually it's like pizza, cheese, or pepperoni.
Yeah. I do say
I don't like pepperoni.
I don't really like pizza as much with red tomato sauce.
Oh. That's like the point. Don't want to date you, Mel. Just kidding. I mean, these things, yeah, they kind of matter, but they also don't.
Yeah. Football team, pass.
Basketball? I'm not really a sports person.
Ballet or opera? Ballet, I guess. I've never been to the opera.
Oh my gosh, I love this. I was not unaware that this list I was compiling had a use behind just learning to understand as much as I could of her. I was also learning things that might please her, gifts I might give her. He is such a gifts person.
Yeah, it's so cute.
That's his love language.
That's so sweet. That turns me on so much that he's doing all this with a purpose.
Okay, I have a comparison on this page. Wait, no, we have to finish going through this. Sorry.
Oh, I think some of this is in Twilight, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
What's
like,
your favorite gemstone? Topaz. That's in Twilight.
yeah, it's because it's the color of his eyes.
So here he says, why does that make you embarrassed? And she won't say why. And then he goes, tell me, I insisted rudely. I felt ashamed at once. I just wanted to compare that to Twilight. Because here we have Edward the narrator, like, making up for himself, like, knowing that it's rude and I felt bad. But we don't get that in Twilight, you know? So in Twilight, tell me, he finally commanded after persuasion failed. Failed only because I kept my eyes safely away from his face. It's not that big of a deal. But it is kind of demanding. I mean, he says, tell me, he finally commanded.
Yeah.
Not that bad. But do you think, I think there's bigger instances of this in the book, but do you think that Stephanie wanted to make Edward seem a little less mean sometimes?
I think so, yeah. I don't know if she wrote it with the always knowing exactly that Edward would be regretting his word choice or aware that something came out the wrong way, but I feel like her reading it back probably wants to make him softer.
Yeah, I wonder. And do you think it's just because she realized, like, oh, that was kind of rude of him? Or do you think that she was aware that people have criticized Edward for being controlling? I mean, this isn't that controlling, but he's, like, demanding that she tells him.
I don't know. I feel like it probably is a mixture of both. I mean, I feel like her opinion on it could have changed as well, too.
That's true.
I mean, it could have been influenced by people's critiques.
It's just very interesting. I mean, you don't usually get the chance to sort of, like, rewrite what you wrote.
Yeah,
so
true.
It's kind of fascinating, the little changes.
Very true.
And then, is this in Twilight? Asks what flowers she prefers.
I don't remember.
Dahlias for looks, lavender, and lilac for fragrance.
She loves lavender.
Yeah.
Purple's cool.
Purple's cool.
Yeah. Activities. She's like, my mom likes to keep the weekends open for adventures. I did Girl Scouts for a while, and once she put me in a dance class, but that was a mistake. She thought it would be convenient because it was close enough for me to walk there after school, but no convenience was worth the mayhem. Mayhem, really? I asked skeptically. If I had Miss Kavanaugh's number, she would corroborate my story. So here we're getting a little bit of foreshadowing for the whole ballet studio in the future.
Yeah.
One error, dance teachers usually never go by Miss and then their last name.
Yep, it's true. It would be Miss first name.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
Unless her first name is Cabinev.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's so cute that after she says this, she huffed quietly, a little exasperated. She still didn't like being taken care of. Oh, because he gathers her trash.
Mm.
She huffed. Huff. Just cute.
Oh, I have a random note here. They're talking
Okay.
about like walking in the hallway, and reading this, I realized that I don't know if you do the same thing. When I picture the hallways in the school, I still picture it as my middle school
Me too.
hallway.
I picture it as my middle school too. And I picture the
Yeah.
cafeteria as my middle school cafeteria.
Isn't that actually so cute?
Yeah.
Thinking about it actually made me really emotional because it's
Yeah.
like, wow, I'm put back in that place I was when I first read Twilight.
Yeah. Like our mind just still does it.
Yeah.
And also, I still picture Bella's house as... I used to picture it back in the day kind of like a version of this girl I was friends with, Casey's house. And I don't know why I still do.
That's so cool. Yeah, our listener Deb on Twitter said that she still pictures Bella's room as her old bedroom in her old house.
That's cute.
Yeah. Something about that feels so magical to me that
I
your
know.
brain does that.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's like just you're being transported in time, and it's like I didn't even realize until halfway through this book. Like,
Yeah.
wow, I'm in my middle school hallway
Yeah.
right now.
I picture the McCarthy Middle School gym too.
Yeah.
And that whole area, like whenever he's eavesdropping or whatever. Yeah.
It's so I picture the red lockers in my 7th grade hallway.
Yeah. Because we were in middle school.
Yeah, when we read Twilight. But it's interesting that we've even been to the real Forks High School.
I know.
And still...
We've seen the movie. We've
Yeah.
been to the real Forks High School. And we've even been to high school.
Yeah.
We still picture our middle
Yeah.
school. Yeah, I don't picture my high school. It's the middle school.
It's so funny. Yeah, it's totally middle school. Like
Wow.
the same one hallway.
That's cool. My next thing is on 277.
Yeah, I don't have anything else.
I thought it was funny. He's thinking about our fave couple, Emmett and Rosalie, and he thinks he always gave Rosalie the benefit of the doubt, and though I knew that I was just the opposite, I never gave her the benefit of the doubt. Good.
Yeah.
She doesn't deserve it.
She does not. I mean, he can read her mind. There's no room for the benefit of the doubt there.
I think it's funny too. I think this is Alice thinking to Edward. She thinks, and Jazz, well, he's tired of being the weakest link. You're kind of too perfect with the self-control, and it gets annoying. I don't know why I thought that was funny. Pointing out that people can get annoyed with Edward. Then they're back to questions. So Bella's talking about Phoenix, where she's from, and asks if Edward's ever been to Phoenix, and he says no. Yeah, none of this is in Twilight, right?
I don't think so, no.
And Bella says, right, of course, the sun. Oh yeah, she still doesn't know. It creates some kind of problem for you? Indeed. I wasn't about to try to explain that answer. It was also something that had to be seen to be understood. Oh, it was really something that had to be seen to be understood. Also, Phoenix was a little too close for comfort to the lands of the aggressive southern clans claimed. But that wasn't a story I wanted to get into either. Interesting.
Yeah, and she's talking about life in Arizona and cacti and shit. And he just casually mentions we lived in New Orleans for a while, which is interesting.
love that.
I want to know more about that.
Anytime they mention a place they've been to, I freak out.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I underlined that too.
Yeah, it's your favorite place to spend time. She says the library. What a nerd. Just kidding.
Yeah, she talks about like a lot of specific places. We'd go to the pool at Cactus Park. I wonder if these are all places Stephanie knows. Probably.
Probably. She said my mom had me in swimming lessons there before I could walk. There was always some story in the news about a toddler drowning, and it freaked her out. In the winter, we'd go to Roadrunner Park. It was not huge, but it had a little lake. We'd sail paper boats when I was a kid. Nothing very exciting, like I've been trying to tell you. And he says, I think it sounds lovely. I don't remember much about my childhood, which is kind of sad.
I know. It is sad.
Like, he did have a whole childhood, a whole life before
I know.
he was 17, and it's sad that his existence is not really having anything to do with that.
I
It's
know.
like, where did that little boy go, you know?
Yeah. It's like it didn't even happen.
Yeah.
It makes me sad. So after all her descriptions of Phoenix, she goes, have I sold you on Phoenix yet? Perhaps I need a bit more persuasion. So she talks about the trees and stuff and the sunsets. I've heard that about the sky. It's being cool there. I've never been to Arizona myself.
Me neither.
She says she likes the minimalism of it. Interesting.
I never realized in this book, so he says, what was your room like when you lived there? And she says, messy. I'm not that organized. I like that, but I never realized that she was messy.
I know, me neither.
It's actually contrary to what I would expect of her, because she does seem a little bit type A.
Yeah, I didn't think that either.
She's like always cooking
Mm-hmm.
and doing chores. But I feel like that's a little bit of Renee in her, I guess.
Yeah. And people have pointed this out on... Did Angel point this out, or did she... I don't know if she shared it or if she wrote it herself. I think it was on her story, though. Friend of the pod, Angel. That she's talking about her room, and Edward says, what's your bedroom like now or when I lived there? Now? And she said, I think it's a yoga studio or something. My stuff is in the garage. And Edward's like, well, we do need to go back. We'll shove the bed back in somehow. Wasn't there a third bedroom? How do you know that? Oh, yeah, I guess she described it. That's her craft room. Blah, blah, blah. But it was pointed out that the second she moved out, Renee turned her room into a yoga studio, but Charlie kept her room this entire time. All these years.
Even
it's
when
still...
she wasn't there.
Isn't that so sweet?
Oh, Charlie.
Charlie!
Don't hurt him.
So sweet. I mean, I don't think Renee's evil or anything. No, but like it is a stark contrast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bella is not Renee's sole priority.
I was telling you that I worry in a way that I will be like this when I'm a parent.
I really don't think so, though. I feel like Renee is really scatterbrained and kind of a mess, whereas you are very thoughtful and sentimental and always thinking about other people.
But I want to have a craft room.
Yeah, but I don't think you would do that, though. I think, no, you know what? I think you are so sentimental that you wouldn't do that, because I think you would almost like want to preserve your child's room as it is. And
probably.
You'd be like sad, like, I don't want to take down their posters.
Yeah,
like,
true.
I can't picture you doing that.
I guess because the post on Instagram was kind of trashing her, and then the part about that's her craft room, I was like, oh shit, like that sounds like me, because I just want to have a room to do stuff like that in.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
Although I feel like you would try to have a craft room before that. I don't think you would wait until your kid went to college to get a craft room.
True. We'll see. It's all
Maybe you
hypothetical.
turn a bathroom into a craft room. Like, sorry, one bathroom, guys.
This is my craft room now.
Oh yeah, no dining room.
I'll find somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, she really they get into detail here. Like, the ceiling fan is broken, just so the lights worked, so I had a big noisy fan on top of the dresser, blah, blah, blah. Really getting detailed here. Yep. And then he says his famous line, it's Twilight. Oh, in this version he says it, not murmurs.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Interesting. I guess maybe to him it's not a murmur because he can hear it better.
True.
I don't know.
Oh, doesn't it bug you that they're always talking about the vampires being able to hear each other grit their teeth.
I never really picked up on that, actually.
Oh, it's said a few times, I think, like, I could hear Rosalie grit her teeth.
Yeah, I don't
from
like
across the
that.
house. First of all, what does that sound like? Second of all, that's too much
Yeah,
noise.
exactly. I would have
I'd go insane.
sensory overload if I could hear every little thing like that.
I don't think I could make it. I think I would have gone to the Volturi.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like I'd go crazy. Can they tune it out? That's way too much.
Probably. How could you have a relaxing existence?
Being able to hear people's teeth
Yeah, that is
far away.
way too much. Because if you could hear someone's teeth from far away, what are you hearing close up?
I know.
They must be able to hear people's, like, humans' stomachs just digesting. They probably hear every little thing that's passing through a body.
Ew. Okay, wait. This is kind of gross and TMI, but I'm going there. And I'm jumping ahead, but, later he's at Bella. We know this. We've read Twilight, guys. It's not really a spoiler. But, he's at Bella's house, and she needs a human minute, and goes to the bathroom and stuff. Since we know that he has such good hearing and senses, how does Bella, go to the bathroom?
I know.
When he's in the house.
I know. She must get so constipated.
He must hear everything.
I know.
Especially, if I'm picturing this correctly, I think the bathroom's next to her room.
Yeah, I think so.
So, I mean, even humans can hear.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes.
I know. I would not be able to go to the bathroom.
I'd be like, okay, you need to run 100 miles away. Because I need to go to the bathroom.
Even if it's soundproof, you probably can still hear.
Yeah. You can probably hear from a mile away.
But you know what? I don't think that would bother Edward in the slightest.
I know.
He would not be grossed out.
I would be so embarrassed, though.
Me too, especially if it was like some. If it was like that poop I was having a lot of trouble passing. I would be so embarrassed.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Even at a human's house, I can't do it.
I know. I can't imagine having a boyfriend that can hear everything.
Oh my god.
And he's just lying in my room listening to me. Go to the bathroom.
Poor Bella, that's horrible. If we had the chance to interview Stephanie Meyer, we gotta ask that.
Yeah. That's another thing. In addition to my craft room, I want to make my bathroom soundproof.
Yeah, it's very important. And a sign which reads, "This is soundproof, go nuts."
Yeah. I don't know how much money that will be to soundproof.
Are
but
all bathrooms supposed to be a little bit soundproof?
No.
Because when you're in the bathroom, I can't really hear you, but you probably can maybe hear me.
No, I know I can't. I mean, maybe it's just our apartment's lucky. I don't think that's true, though.
Yeah.
I mean, there are ways to really soundproof, like with foam things in the wall and stuff, or like there's materials you can put on the wall that will
It is really important.
absorb sound. Yeah.
I do think public restrooms, my hope for the future someday is that they take more of an initiative to make them more private, because it is really
They
hard.
suck in America.
Oh my gosh. It's so hard if you have to go and you gotta go.
I know.
And you're in public and all that's separating you is just a wall and there's space from
and there's
the
a little
bottom.
crack
Yeah.
in between every stall where you can see through.
Yeah. You
Why?
can literally see through.
I've noticed this is not a thing everywhere, but yeah, it's horrible.
You walk by, you can see someone literally sitting. If you look. There's no privacy.
We have no privacy. Yeah.
Don't you hate too when you go in a stall and the door doesn't really lock or close and you just gotta hold it?
It's horrible.
It's the worst. Probably 5 times in my life I've been in a public restroom, maybe even more when the door has opened up when I've been in there.
Yeah. I've been walked in on several times.
It's the worst.
Yeah, it's
so
horrible.
bad.
It's so shameful.
How do you survive something like that?
Well, I guess we did.
I know. In Washington, actually, it happened to me. It was horrible because the
Poor Mel.
I wasn't walked in on, but the door just flung right open as I was sitting on the toilet, and the toilet was not close to the door whatsoever. So halfway through, I had to get up and run with my pants down to close it, and I was so embarrassed. It was a Target in Seattle.
Oh.
It was so bad. And then I went back and told Kelly about
Poor
it.
Mel.
Oh, gosh.
Man.
It's happened at work to me before.
Are you ever in a bathroom? So, not really a stall situation, but you're in the bathroom and someone just starts yanking around the door handle like crazy.
Yeah.
Without knocking or anything. And you're like, I'm in here. I'm in here.
Yeah. Oh
And they're
my
just
God.
going, like trying to open it.
What's your go-to response if someone
I don't even know.
knocks? It's like the
I
most...
should prepare.
Yeah.
Freaking 25 years old and I don't know.
What do I say? I think I say...
Who is it?
What? It's always a stranger.
Who is it? I should do that next time. I feel like people can't even like hear my words though. I feel like it just sounds like
Yeah, exactly. I think I say just a minute.
Yeah, I think I say that too.
Yeah, but or someone. I don't know if I say someone's in here. Or hello, I think I say. I don't know.
Someone in here is funny. It's like who? I think I'll say like just a minute, and then
Yeah.
sometimes so someone starts jostling around the handle. I say just a minute. They keep doing it.
Yeah.
And I go, I'm in here. Okay, but then it's so weird when you kind of yell, I'm in here.
I know.
And then you go out into the hallway and there they are.
Yeah, I know, that's the worst.
It's like, hi.
That's so, especially if it's gonna take you much longer.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Go, hello.
I feel like recently I came up with a really good idea of a response to say that's super casual, but I can't. It's like always when it happens, it's just sheer panic. It's like you.
Yeah, I
just,
know.
You don't know what to do.
Because sometimes door locks don't work, or God forbid there isn't a lock for some reason.
Yeah.
And like it has literally happened to me before someone just opens the door.
Yeah, same. It's happened to me too.
Hi.
It's happened to me too. It's for me though. It's only happened once when I have walked in when someone's in the bathroom, but they were washing their hands, so it was no big deal. But
Yeah, I don't think I've ever opened the door and someone was on the toilet.
I know, but I hate that other people can say they have and it was me.
Yeah, me too. Ugh, so embarrassing.
The worst.
So, yeah. Bella and Edward, bathroom.
Yeah. Bathroom.
We got a little sidetracked, but I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Yeah. So, Jacob and Billy come to the house.
Oh, yeah.
Billy needs to relax. His thoughts are like, cold one, vampire, Cullen.
I know. Edward is just nearby listening in, as he does, and he really likes Jacob.
Yeah, he has no idea
He doesn't even know
the
what's gonna happen.
animosity that will
Yeah.
brew between the two of them.
He thinks he was the rare kind of mind that was easy to be inside, restful almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Pure and open. It reminded me a bit of Angela's, only not so demure. Demure? I've never seen that word before.
I felt suddenly sorry for this particular boy who was born my enemy.
Oh, that won't last.
Yeah, oh man, I really wish I could read that love triangle on Edward's point of view.
Yeah, me too. Petition?
Petition? Give it to us, Stephanie. Ugh, I guess we can just imagine.
Actually, someone did start a petition for it, but that, to me, that's not the thing you can start a petition for. Like, I don't think
it's gonna work.
Stephanie would see signatures and be like, okay, yeah. It's like,
She doesn't want to write that.
yeah,
I mean,
she knows people want it, but that's not convincing her.
she's been very clear about how hard it was for her to even write this, and it seems
Yeah.
like she didn't even enjoy it.
Yeah.
She's sure as heck not doing more of them.
No, people have written it, so I feel like...
Or prove me wrong, Stephanie. Prove me wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we could reverse psychology her.
Yeah.
We don't even want it, Stephanie.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Don't write it.
No, please.
It would suck. You can't do it.
Yeah. Just leave it.
All of a sudden, thought I wouldn't. Ha, here it is.
Yeah.
Maybe if there's another pandemic,
Oh, hope not.
Can't even make that joke.
Another one. Another one.
Another one. That sucked. That was so bad.
That would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that would be.
I can't even entertain that idea.
So unlucky.
I never even. Maybe that's our mistake. Mistake number 1, thinking that would never happen.
I know. Honestly, it never crossed my mind. I think we've said that on the podcast.
Yeah, I know. Probably everybody's said that.
Yeah.
What's the next thing you got? Back to the book.
Oh, Esme is so sweet in this scene.
Oh, yeah.
He's really being nurtured by her like a
So
mother
cute.
is, and talking about his feelings. And she says, "This girl, she makes you happy?" I said, "Yes. When I'm not getting in my own head, she does indeed." "Then that's all right," she seemed relieved. My mouth twisted. "Is it?" She was silent, her thoughts analyzing my answers, picturing Alice's face, thinking of her visions. She was aware of the wager and also that I knew about it. She was upset with Jasper and Rose because they have a bet about
If he's gonna
gonna
kill
kill her.
Beller.
Beller. Oh, Beller. What will it mean? What will it mean for him if she dies? I cringed, yanking my fingers off the keys. "I'm sorry," she said swiftly. "I didn't mean to." I shook my head and she fell silent. I stayed at my hands, cold and sharp, angled and inhuman. "I don't know how," I whispered. "How I moved past that. I can see anything, nothing past that." She put her arms around my shoulders, lacing her fingers together into a tight knot. "That's not going to happen. I know it won't." I wish I could be as sure. I stared at her hands, so much like mine, but not. Couldn't hate them the same. They were stone too, but not a monster's hands. They were a mother's hands, kind and gentle. And then she says later, "But when Jasper and Rosalie lose, I won't be angry if Emmett rubs it in a bit. Nor will you disappoint me, Edward. Oh, my son, how I do love you. When the hard part is over, I'm going to be very happy, you know. I think I will love this girl." And she says, "You wouldn't be so cruel as to keep her from me, would you?" And then, they have their conversation. And she says, "She kept her arms around me, and after a few moments, I laid my head against the top of hers. She sighed and hugged
So
me
cute.
tighter. It made me feel vaguely childlike. As I told Bella, I didn't have memories of being a child, nothing concrete. But there was a kind of sense memory in the feeling of her arms around me. My first mother must have held me too. It must have comforted me in the same way." Which is so sweet.
Cute. It's so emo of him. A few lines later, she says, well, she thinks, "What do you do all night?" And Edward, he says, I smiled. "Think, ... and burn, and listen." And burn. So cryptic.
Cryptic. I just love their mother-son relationship.
Me too. Okay, chapter 14 is Closer. Do you remember that song that's like, closer, closer?
I don't think so.
That's how it starts. I don't even know what it is. So he goes back to Bella's room. My mom, when I read her review eventually, was very bothered by how many times he goes to Bella's room. That's like her main critique of this book. She goes, "Oh, how many times did you tell us he went to her room?" But this one, it's not like this one is that detailed.
Yeah.
This is just mentioned. It's one little paragraph. And it's morning. And
So did she have a problem with how many times it's mentioned, or a problem with...
She just felt like it was
doing it?
repetitive.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay, we've seen this already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he left, didn't he?
Yeah, tonight he left.
Yeah.
Why is today still his day for questions?
I know, I don't get it. It lasted a really long time.
Asks about mom.
Yeah. She doesn't have to stay in place for me anymore. That's a weight off. And then Charlie, I never thought about him needing me, but he really does. The house is too empty for him, which is sweet.
Then he thinks to himself, perhaps this was the real secret as to why she was drawn to me. Had anyone ever needed her more? Because he thinks that she likes being a caretaker and likes to be needed. And he feels he needs her.
Is this in Twilight? Edward says, "Tell me about your first date."
I don't
think it is.
So.
This is exciting.
Are we wrong, guys?
I don't know, because I'm excited by it. And she says, I'm not sure what actually counts. And he says, put the qualifications at their lowest setting, which I love that line. I want to say that someday.
Yeah, that's cute.
And she says, well, then I guess that would be Mike, a different Mike, which is interesting. That's the same name. He was my square dancing partner in the 6th grade. I was invited to his birthday party. It was a movie. She smiled. The second Mighty Ducks. I was the only one who showed up. Later, people said it was a date. I don't know who started that rumor.
I can't believe she never had, like, any... I can get not having a date. Yeah, but just, like,
Crush.
any little, like, a date to the 8th grade dance, or, like, I guess she doesn't go to dances. Just, like, anything. Like, someone passed her a note when she was a little older or something.
Yeah, or just, like, no crush.
Any little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no crush. That's weird to me.
I always thought it was weird in TV shows when people would be like, their first crush at, like, 13. Like, I had my first crush when I was, like, 2 or something.
Yeah, my first crush, I think I was, like, 5.
Yeah.
I said that to someone the other day.
As long as I've been alive, or form memory, I've had crushes.
Yeah, I said that to someone the other day, and he was like, that's too young. Like,
No.
what? I don't think so.
Yeah.
What?
I remember telling someone in preschool, you're my boyfriend.
All I do with my life is have crushes on people.
I don't have crushes anymore.
Never? I do.
Not as often. Or if I do, it's, like, more serious. Oh.
Wait, what the heck? Is this in Midnight Sun? I'm looking at a part right now when he leaves a note for her on her seat, and it says, be safe, in his elegant script. I feel like that's not even in Midnight Sun.
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
That's kind of weird.
I've only read it once. Oh, one thing I wanted to say on 295 while you're looking for that is Bella really cares about college at this point in her life. He says, were you actually busy or making excuses like you did here, like about how she didn't really have a dating life? He said, she said, actually busy. She insisted, a little offended. Running a house is time consuming, and I usually had a part-time job too, not to mention school. If I'm going to get into college, I'm going to need a full ride scholarship. And hold that thought, you're interrupted. Before we move on to the next subject, I'd like to finish one. If I hadn't been busy, were any of these invitations ones you would have liked to accept?
Oh, Edward, he's so hung up on this.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, have you ever liked anyone?
Yeah.
It's a little too perfect that she's never liked anyone.
I know,
that's
is
crazy
too
to me.
perfect.
How could she have never liked anyone?
I know.
I don't get it.
But so it's like, that does make me sad that she's spending all this energy, her whole teenage years, working so hard to get a full ride into school, and then she just abandons that dream when she meets Edward.
I know. I think that I would think that she knows that if she becomes a vampire, she will get to go to college a million times.
That's true. That is true.
So maybe she doesn't really worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Running a house is time consuming. That makes me so sad that as a teenager she's running a house.
I know. What the fuck is Renee doing?
Yeah, I honestly think that's...
I guess she's like a single mom.
That's really neglectful, though. You should never make your child feel as if they're the parent.
Yeah. It's interesting. So, yeah, he also reveals that he hasn't had a dating history. And then he asks her what college she'd like to go to. And she's very practical. Like she said, I used to think ASU is most practical because I could live at home. But with mom moving around now, I guess my field is more open. I'll have to be a state school, something reasonable, even with a scholarship. So she says Washington State. Wait, no. When I first came here, well, I was glad that Charlie doesn't live close enough to Washington State to make that practical. Oh, okay. So she wouldn't live at home, I guess. No, she just doesn't want to go to Washington State because of the weather. So where would she go?
I don't know.
If you could go anywhere, if the cost were no object, where would you go? What does she say? I have to do some research. Most of the fancy schools are in the snow zone. It's true. I wonder what colleges in Hawaii are like.
I guess she could go to Stanford. He asks what her plans for the future are and what she'd want to do after college. And she says something with books. I always thought I would teach, like, well, not exactly like my mom. If I could, I'd like to teach on a college level somewhere, probably a community college, elective English classes, so that everyone who signed up is there because they want to be. Is that what you've always wanted? She shrugged. Mostly. I once thought of working for a publisher as an editor or something. Her nose wrinkled. I did some research. It's a lot easier to get a job as a teacher. Much more practical, which is true.
He says her dreams are all had clipped wings, not like those of usual teenagers off to conquer the world. Obviously a product of facing realities long before she should have to. Yeah. All her dreams, they are very practical.
Yeah.
It's a little sad to me.
It is. Like, when I was in high school, I thought the world was my oyster. I thought I was going to be famous.
Okay, I did not think
the
that.
next J.K. Rowling.
I was actually way too embarrassed to tell anybody what I wanted to do. I didn't want to tell anyone that I wanted to study English because that was too embarrassing.
Now I was really proud of it.
No way. Yeah, I didn't even want to tell, like, my English teacher because I didn't think it was... I knew it was hard to make a job out of an English degree, and I wasn't confident that I was even good at it, so I was way too embarrassed to even say. So I literally, whenever people asked in high school, I'd always say, I don't know.
Yeah.
Even though I did know.
I totally don't understand. We talked about this in the podcast as well, though. Like, I don't understand the backlash that people have when you say you're studying English, because I actually think a degree in English is a very versatile
Yeah, I know that
degree.
now.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know why guidance counselors and people like that acted like it was so... stupid. But yeah, I didn't want to teach though, and then I think I don't know why people don't just say, like, you could write somewhere, you can work in marketing, like, there's a lot you can do.
Yeah. You can get a business
You can do
job.
literally anything.
Yeah. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny that she says the publishing thing, because 50 Shades of Grey, which we know is like not a spin-off, but like fan fiction turned its own thing, from Twilight, she works in publishing.
Oh, yes. But it also, once again, I wonder if that's Stephanie Meyer's feelings.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Sorry, I just noticed that there's a random E on the floor.
Oh, yeah, I think it's from my collages. E for Edward?
Oh, okay.
I remember, I think in some fan fiction we read, she said she wanted to be a scientist or something, and to me that didn't feel right, and I wondered if whoever wrote it, thought that because of the biology scene?
Yeah, probably.
Because she was good at it? I don't know.
Because she liked to look for tadpoles.
Oh, yeah. She definitely likes books.
Yeah. Why did she become a cop like her dad?
A cop?
Not picture that.
No, never. I want to be a cop like my dad.
I want to be a stuntman. Adrenaline. It's my thing.
A stuntman. Yeah. She changes her course.
Yeah.
What does Edward want to be? Does he even care?
I mean, I think it's weird he has, like, medical degrees and stuff several times over, but, like...
Doesn't even use it.
It's weird that none of the Cullens, like, use any of their skills.
Yeah. Well, maybe... Okay, so this is jumping ahead, but it's revealed that Carlisle told Billy, I think, that they were planning on staying for 10 years.
Yeah.
So maybe they would have had jobs eventually.
Yeah.
They never really talk about it, though.
They don't.
I don't think Edward ever mentions a job he's had.
No.
Have you worked a day in your life, Edward? Yeah. Or does Daddy just pay for everything?
Yeah, exactly. They don't have, like... They are all financially dependent on Carlisle and Alice with her stocks.
Yeah. Her stonks.
Daddy just pay for everything.
Does Esme ever do anything? Like, she seems really into architecture, but it's all just like for our next house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she apply that to real life? I feel like she could really do that on the down low.
I know. I've thought about how none of them could ever become like too successful at anything, though.
Yeah, exactly. Carlisle is really pushing some dangerous territory.
Yeah, he is.
He's
I mean,
really well known.
it comes up later in the book
Yeah.
that some doctor knows him and is even thinking like, oh, he looks young.
Yeah, and the doctor knows him from like a past, not a past life, like a past reality. Or,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
was like 10 years ago
past
or
identity.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It's
they
like-
always use their last name, which is insane to me.
So weird. Did we talk about this on the show?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, why do they not change their last name?
Yeah.
At least.
I feel like it's giving it away.
I mean, really, they should do first and last name.
Did we talk about this on the show?
I think we did.
Okay, yeah.
Either on the... Guys, let us know.
Yeah.
We could just re-listen to it. Either on this or our Patreon. Yeah, we do Patreon.
Yeah.
If you're wondering. Optional, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to!
Yeah. We're gonna come to your house, and if you don't press sign up...
We're gonna drink your blood.
Yeah. Okay, this is the chapter where Alice is being all... I love her, Edward.
Yeah.
I love her.
She's forcing that upon us a little bit too much. I found it a little annoying. Sorry, Alice. It's not personal.
I don't really get it. I
Yeah.
guess I would have to have visions of the future, maybe to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how she already... Like, yeah, she had visions that she'll be best friends with Bella, but
But
how is that the same as, like, already knowing you like someone?
yeah, exactly. Because I feel like your vision would be a little bit more watching your life, how it will unfold, not experiencing it per se.
Yeah. It's so weird. I love her. Yeah.
And it's forced.
Why is she even freaking out about this? What's going on? She's having visions. It's shifting. It's changing. Oh, she just wants to meet her, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Everyone's still being weird about it.
Mm-hmm.
I only actually have one other note for this chapter. Kind of a short one.
Oh, I don't have any.
The only other thing is, I think this is at school. Bella's looking at Rosalie, and Rosalie thinks on page 302, "Goggle at me, will you, you bat-faced little nuisance." So mean. My jaw dropped when I saw that. And Bella's face turns white. She looked frozen as though she couldn't look away from the back corner of the room. Oh yeah, so is this...
I turned quickly and shot Rosalie a threatening glare, my lips pulling away from my teeth. I hissed quietly at her. She started it, Rosalie thought solemnly. What? No, she didn't. But what did Bella think was going on?
Yeah, wait, I don't know how Bella's face turns white. Is it just from the look on Rosalie's face?
Oh, I think she can just see over Edward's shoulder or whatever in the back corner of the room. She can just see Rosalie glaring and being scary.
You bat-faced little nuisance. That is so mean.
I know.
That is so mean.
She's a bad guy. Bad guy on the good side.
Yep. Bad guy on the good side.
Mm-hmm.
And she stays that way.
Oh, guys. Oh my gosh.
What?
So he's going with Alice to return Bella's truck, I think?
Yeah.
And all those logistical stuff. And he says, I wrote a brief note, then darted out to leave it on the driver's seat of Bella's truck. There it is.
Oh my gosh, full circle.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yeah, correction. Remember the keys? We were like,
Yeah.
what are the keys?
Yeah.
You guys told us they are Bella's keys, the truck, because remember he was taking her truck to, where was he taking it? Oh no, I can't remember where he's taking it.
I don't know. Changing cars. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Drive my car. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah. He's taking it somewhere.
We don't.
Oh,
We know.
Yeah. Another
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
I sure remember the keys were in the truck.
Yeah, what is, okay, is it just that she drives to school and he's like, let me drive you home, and then what about my truck? And like, oh, Alice will bring it back just because he wants to be in the same car as her? It doesn't matter. It does no matter.
It doesn't matter. I don't have the key with me. Let's see.
These dang cars, cause so many
I
problems.
should have let you drive today instead of working hard to keep the desperation out of my voice. Her eyes snapped up to mine. She said, why? I'm leaving with Alice after lunch. Oh, her face fell. That's okay. It's not that far of a walk. I frowned.
He picked her up.
I'm not going to make you walk home. Did she really think I would leave her stranded? We'll go get your car and leave it here for you. Okay, yeah, because he's cutting class. That's why.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Cool. And then he leaves a note
I figured it out.
that we know in Twilight says, be safe. But in this, he doesn't say.
Tell us.
So I forgot. Wow. Oh, and Alice even, it's crazy. Here, she held out a piece of stationery and pen. Wow. She even knew that. All right. Do you think we should leave it there? I can't believe, like, how slow we're doing this.
I know. I can't believe we have covered the other books, like, in 2 episodes.
I know.
2 to 3 episodes.
It's just so, there's so much to it.
There's so much to unpack. I like that we're taking it so that we're about halfway.
Yeah. I hope people like it.
Predict that we'll probably have 2 or 3 more Midnight Sun episodes. Probably 3 if we're being realistic.
What do people want? Do you want 3 more? Do you want 2 more?
Yeah.
Is 3 too much? Is 2 too little?
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a regular episode.
As opposed to what?
As opposed to 1 week, we'll be back with a Patreon episode.
Oh. Yeah. I hope you guys had a nice time, and we'll miss you so much, and that you enjoyed Midnight Sun, or are still enjoying it, or will enjoy it if you haven't read it yet.
Yeah.
And you're just listening to spoilers for some reason. Maybe you are.
Yeah, and if you are, power to you.
Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye and good day.
Good day. That's very formal. Okay. You can contact us at anotherbiteoftwilight@gmail.com or find us on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at anotherbiteoftwilight. Theme music is by Traces. See you next time.